my God! Put it out! Put it out! Fire extinguisher! Fire extinguisher! Oh, I think all right. I think it's out. Oh no! It flashed back up. Oh, my. It flashed back up. It's not out. It's like a Tesla fire. Oh, boy. What is this radio theater all about?
Very dramatic.
That's very, very, very dramatic. Yeah, got a pile of... What do I have a pile of? Anybody want to guess?
Tesla fire stories?
What?
What? I don't know what.
Did you say Tesla fire stories?
Yeah.
No, dude, what is wrong with you?
I don't know.
What kind of an ass wagon are you? What do you mean Tesla fire stories?
You have a pile of stories of people?
Oh, jeez. What do you have, a stroke?
What do you have?
Come on.
You threw me off. You threw me off when you said a Tesla fire in the middle of your little extinguishing.
No, it's not a Tesla fire.
Today,
I was saying that a Tesla fire, you know, essentially,
right?
They put it out, it flares back up, or it takes 4 hours to put out, and 49,000 gallons of water.
That's why it didn't make sense until literally 8 seconds ago.
I said it's like a Tesla fire.
Okay.
My
Today's a very special day in the annual calendar of the MJ Morning Show.
It is a very special day
Yes.
so the fact that you didn't immediately glom onto it is very disturbing.
I knew about it over the weekend, but you threw me off with the fire extinguisher out of the gate.
Did you even look?
I saw a couple of them, but I didn't go out of my way. No.
I've got 3.
Yeah.
I've got 3, and I need to do one more pass. I've got 3 turkey fryer fire stories, including a $3 to $4 million mansion in Connecticut that was destroyed because of a turkey fryer fire. 3 to 4. Some stories say 3 million. Some stories say 4 million. I have no idea what it is. Some people say 5 million. Some people say 6 million. No one knows how much money was taken with the Lufthansa heist at JFK. Jimmy! Anyway, so I have a pile of turkey fire stories.
Yes.
We'll get to later on. Turkey frying in my house was... Hey, is Roxanne coming in? Where the hell is she?
She is coming in. She sent us a message about
Hold
20
on a
minutes
second.
ago.
I didn't see that.
Maybe 15 minutes ago.
We got a text?
Yes.
It
was sent to the group.
Here it is. Yep, I see it right here. Here we go. I forgot my headphones. I'm turning around to get them. I'll be there by 6:15. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
All right. So turkey fryer fires on the agenda later on. All right. Time for the Bucks. This is the NFL on the MJ Morning Show. And yeah, we'll do a Thanksgiving roundup. I got a couple of complaints on something. Listen, well, I'll tell the story later on. People were expecting something and it didn't come to fruition. So I'm sure we all have some Thanksgiving stories to get to. I had another successful turkey fryer event at my house where the turkey was fantastic. No fires, didn't burn the house down. I didn't light up the turkey fryer in the garage or in the living room. No, another successful outdoor, away from the house, turkey fryer.
Good.
Cook. Turkey fryer fry. Very successful. Anyway, Buccaneers, man, they're hanging on by a thread, huh?
What an exciting game that was yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of who they're playing, I mean, the Carolina Panthers, not the best team in the world.
This is the NFL on the MJ Morning Show. All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, the Panthers gave the Buccaneers everything they could handle. I thought the Buccaneers were going to lose it.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
26-23, overtime win. What, a fumble and then a field goal, and then, the Carolina Panthers looked like they were going to snake that game back.
Yeah.
And then win the thing. But the Bucs, what are they, 6-6 now?
Right.
And they're technically tied, although Atlanta has the advantage. Now, Atlanta's beaten the Bucs twice.
Atlanta holds, they hold the tiebreaker.
Right. So Atlanta has beaten the Bucs already twice, but I believe both teams are 6-6.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Thank you. So, listen, do you think the Bucs are going to make a wild card?
No.
Yeah,
They'll either win the division
right,
or do nothing.
Yeah, so
They have to win the division.
Yeah.
None of the teams in this conference or this league with the Bucks are that good.
But they're still in the hunt technically for a wild card, aren't they?
They're not going to get a wild card.
Yeah. Anyway.
A lot of good teams are getting wild cards.
Listen, folks, don't come here for your football analysis. Whatever you do.
You come here for your turkey frying analysis.
That's
what you come here for.
That's what you should do. But let's see, who's the Buccaneer, the running back? Who's the guys like kind of making some noise?
Buc-ee's?
Yeah, is that his name?
Yeah, Buc-ee's. Named after the name. He was named after the gas station.
Yeah.
Little known fact.
Oh, dude, guess what? It's very, very funny that you brought that up.
Okay.
And so, what's his full name? This dude. Do you know what it is?
His name is Bucktholomew.
No, get it.
I don't know.
Well, look it up. You've got a Google in front of you.
There you go.
Look it up. Oh, incidentally, I saw that like Google's in trouble. That a lot of the younger folks out there, a lot of like Generation Z and Alpha, and they're like using alternatives to Google. And there's a big concern that Google is going to age out.
With the boomers?
Yeah, so boomers, Generation X, millennials are still using Google, but some of the younger generation are finding alternatives to the Googles. So there's a big concern that Google could be, going the way of the horse and buggy at some point. Yeah, I saw a deal. And then, speaking of, did you find out the name of this dude?
His name is Bucky Irving.
Okay, Bucky
and
Irving.
His government name.
No, yeah. What's his real name?
Is Marquise.
Marquise. So how do you get Bucky at a Marquise?
I don't know.
Like a Mercury Grand Marquise?
He played college for Oregon, and he's with the Bucks, man. He's doing great.
Oh, dude. Speaking of Buc-ee's, Buccees, Buc-ee's, the gas station phenomenon and wall of beef jerky. I don't know where the hell I saw this thing, but I stumbled across a piece on Fester's favorite chunk of Americana.
Yeah.
There's a whole piece. It's an automotive website that I love, and somebody wrote a piece on Buc-ee's. And Fester, you might be very angry at some of the things that are said.
What?
Well, you know what? We'll get to it next. I promise. In just a moment.
Oh, my.
6:09. We're just getting started here on the MJ Morning Show after Thanksgiving weekend. There is a lot of ground to cover today, so you don't want to miss one moment of the MJ Morning Show here on a Monday morning. Man, it's December. It's cold out. I'm still wearing my T-shirt and shorts. Feels great. I think it was 47 degrees when I walked out of the house in South Tampa this morning. 6:09, traffic's on. Let's grab Shriner with the latest MJ Morning Show and Fester's Buc-ee's story next.
No.
a.m. It is a nice and cool, brisk Monday morning. It's like I'm on the top of a mountain and that wind blows, and it's like the York peppermint patty gust that just wisps through my body. Just feels so refreshing. Have I changed my attire for this chilly morning?
Yeah.
Hey, what time is it here? It's 6:21, and the temperature is, it's up to 51, at least here in St. Pete. Now, at my home, when I left my house this morning, it was 47 in South Tampa on the water. I rolled over to St. Pete, and it was up to 48, and now we're up to 51. But I walked out of my house, 47, 48 degrees, man, in shorts and a T-shirt, and it was exhilarating. Fantastic. Hey, later this morning, we launch the Santa Sleigh List contest. It's kind of cool. So at 7:30, I'm going to give you the song title that you need to listen for. So it's called the Santa Sleigh List, but it's a play on playlist. You get it?
Oh!
Yeah, so it's the songs that Santa has playing on his playlist while he's shooting all over the place on the sleigh.
Okay,
right?
I get it now.
So it's not the playlist, it's the sleigh list.
And you know what the sleigh list slays? It's a great list.
Right. So it's a list of songs that Santa plays on the sleigh, and here's the deal. Every morning at 7:30 for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to give you what song is on the sleigh list. Then you listen during the course of the day, and it's going to play. It's guaranteed. It's going to play. And if you're caller 7, then you win $1,000. And this is a local deal. This is not one of the national contests. This is local only. It's only on Q105, 104.7 FM. So in about an hour and 6 minutes, I'll give you what song you need to listen for later today. So 7:30, I give you the song title, then keep listening. Whenever that song plays, be caller 7, win $1,000 freaking bucks. $1,000, $1,000. Easy as that. And it all starts today here on 104.7 FM. It's Q105. So I'm excited about this. The Santa Sleigh List, and that's SLEIGH. It's not SLAY, okay? Let's be very clear about that.
Good. A sleigh list sounds like something a murderer has.
It's not a mass murder list.
Serial killer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, oh, oh.
All right, Fester,
Yes.
I think you might get a little perturbed at this.
Why are you taking shots at Buc-ee's?
Hold on.
It's not you. It's not you.
I'm not taking shots at Buc-ee's.
I understand you're just the reporter in this situation.
What's the Buc-ee's count in Florida right now? You know this crap. I don't.
There are 3 in the state of Florida.
Where are they,
there-
please?
There's 2.
And a third is on the horizon.
And a 4th one's being opened in Ocala.
Hold on. You just said there were 2.
Well, I think it's 2
Yeah.
that's open.
All right.
And then
Then 2 more are coming?
Yeah.
I think there might be 3.
Let's not think. Let's find the facts.
Well, I just found a story that says a new Buc-ee's coming, a 3rd one, and that was in 2023. So I'm thinking that might already be in existence.
Yeah, that was over
Can
in Fort
somebody
Pierce.
just go to their website and look for locations? That's the easy. Fester, why don't you quit going and just go to their website?
We're talking in live time.
Yeah, this is like
you understand that.
Yeah.
We're talking in live time.
But you could have you could have started this process a minute ago.
We're
he's
literally
answering
having
you.
conversations in words.
All right.
All right, so I know there's a location in St. Augustine and there's another one in Daytona.
Daytona.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so Buc-ee's locations. I'm on the website now.
Look for Florida.
Florida. Okay. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, Daytona Beach, St. Augustine.
Yep.
So just those 2 is what is showing.
Does it say coming soon? Are there?
I don't see it coming soon, but I do see. I'm reading.
Ocala's coming.
Ocala's coming, and I think Fort Pierce is coming, or down that way.
What's all this heavy I-95 crap?
Dude, that's no joke.
Where's the I-75 action? So we're going to get an Ocala.
Okay, so this is from last year. The governor awarded Florida Department of Transportation $4 million to add a new blah blah blah. Sorry, guys. The new Buc-ee's location is going to be in Marion County. This is last.
That's
the
Ocala.
Ocala location.
That's Ocala.
Okay.
And we knew that one was coming. So
But why isn't it here yet?
So the
Because that's been
open-
over a year and a half.
It takes a long time
how
to build
long
these
does
things.
how long does it freaking take to put 110 gas pumps
yeah,
in
when
the
we
ground?
start talking
What-
Buc-ee's,
what-
let's make it happen.
I mean, you can't build a house in the city of Tampa in less than 18 months.
All right, so here's the deal. I stumbled across the. You know that website I love, the automotive website?
Jalopnik?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great site.
Yeah, I like Jalopnik. And it's just automotive stuff, but it's ancillary related. It's just interesting stuff. It's not all car stuff. So here's the deal. The headline caught my attention. Buc-ee's is the sickness at the heart of America.
He's right. He's right. You know, it's a guilty pleasure.
All right. Buc-ee's is the sickness at the heart of America. This is kind of an op-ed kind of deal here. It's very fast. It's a quick read. The United States. This is by Bradley Brownell, by the way. So any problems you have with this fester, you address Bradley Brownell. All right?
Of Jalopnik.
Of Jalopnik.
All right.
Here we go. The United States may not have the kinds of pre-Christian megastructure buildings that exist in nearly every other corner of the globe. No, we aren't living amongst the gorgeous marble altars to a pantheon of gods or the crumbling remains of towering temples or palaces. But what we lack in vintage, we're more than making up for lost time, clearing space in our lives for modern-day gods. We'll absolutely clear a couple of dozen acres of pristine natural land to plop down a giant fueling depot with hundreds of gas pumps, miles-long car-washing robot tunnels, and a grocery store, barbecue, restaurant, junk store packed with bleep nobody needs. S-bomb, by the way. Buc-ee's is our Parthenon. The automobile is our Athena. And that chubby and cheerful wood-chewing rodent is her symbolic owl stand-in.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
That's the first part of the story here. Then
I think I agree with this guy.
Then it continues. I'm currently writing this post from the passenger seat of a road trip across this gloriously effed up nation.
Again?
In addition to the amber waves of grain and purple mountains' majesty, the highways and byways of America are pockmarked by the occasional arrival of the buck-toothed bastard's concrete haven. The buck-toothed bastard. Concrete haven. The large yellow sign rises above the landscape. To request your presence, you must tithe to your God, little one. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been nearly 2 years since my last fill-up on pump 82.
All right.
Come
This
inside. Beckons the buck. Whatever you desire, this miniature metroplex can conjure. No man is an island, and no road trip can go without a pit stop for sugary drinkies.
He's right.
A cone of candied nuts or a glob of molasses sweet pig meat on a bun.
Oh, this is a flowery piece for a gas station story.
Grab yourself some beaver nuggets, whatever the F that is.
This guy has psychological issues.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's delicious. Never mind what might be inside. Would you like a machete or a fish finder? Wait, they sell machetes at Buc-ee's?
And fish finders, yes.
Would you like a machete or fish finder? Perhaps a T-shirt of your favorite sports team? A meat smoker? This country is a seriously bizarre place to live, and Buc-ee's is a microcosm of our American existence at present. This combination gas station, grocery store way of life is a mirror that we've erected to show us ourselves.
You said this was a quick read, right?
It is almost done.
Okay.
It's almost done.
Okay, all right.
It's the highway equivalent of junk food. It's almost certainly... What do you...
I agree with his premise. I don't agree with his anger.
It's a lot of pros.
He has a lot of anger
It's
here.
almost done. It almost certainly shouldn't exist, and we are worse as a culture for having had it. But GD, does it flip the right switches? And he's using all the curse words in here.
Yeah, of course.
GD, I'm not
Yeah,
going to
sure,
yeah,
sure.
God, but does it flip the right switches in our collective brain? It is truly junk that shouldn't be great.
All right.
But the rot at the core of America is what makes us who we are. Buc-ee's, the Bass Pro Shops pyramid, and ordering bleep will throw away in a month from Temu. These are the new gods of America, and they deserve their shrines. Final paragraph. Of course, being the trash bag normie, all-American dork that I am, I effing love the place.
No kidding.
Buc-ee's is the store we deserve. I'm a believer in the beaver.
I'm a believer in the beaver.
Yeah, I've been a believer in the beaver for quite some time.
There are cathedrals everywhere for those with eyes to see. So there you go.
All right, that was a lot of words.
I am a dyed-in-the-wool believer in the beaver.
It starts off as like a slam, but then he comes around and says that he's actually a beaver believer.
Anyone who could write that much about a topic has to secretly love it.
It's the guilty pleasure of so many people. I saw on the news that Notre Dame reopened, or they had people back in after the fire. Yeah. I would much rather have Buc-ee's in this country than a Notre Dame.
By the way, there are 110 gas pumps now inside the rebuilt Notre Dame, and a meat smoker, and a wall of jerky.
You get little Pope nuggets.
It's in Paris.
That's a Catholic thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Notre Dame is, but it's not like at the Vatican. It's not St. Peter's Basilica.
Trying to make a joke.
All right, 6:33 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling Monday morning, back from the holiday weekend. A lot of stuff to go over with that during the course of the show. Early Morons in the News, though, happens to roll next here on the MJ Morning Show. Stand by. You know, if you want to make the most of this upcoming Christmas, if you want It is the MJ Morning Show. That means it is time for...
Been spending most their lives living in a moron's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a moron's paradise.
Yeah, this is also the segment where people continuously ask...
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
The first one that fits that bill in Morons in the News, of course, it's a Florida story. Of course, it's right here. What?
That's how I feel about this job sometimes.
What?
That's me.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Yeah. All right. Gotta love this. This is from Law and Crime website. Florida man allegedly... I still have to watch that HBO deal.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second episode yet, but the first one was very good.
Yeah, people are talking about it. Florida man allegedly commits 2 felony thefts within 15 minutes at the same Publix.
Wow.
Twofer, a BOGO.
It is a BOGO. Yeah. A Florida man was arrested for 2 separate thefts that occurred within 15 minutes of another. Authorities say that Andrew Sylvester, 42, stands accused of 2 counts of felony retail theft, according to a press release from the Polk County Sheriff's Office. In each instance, the defendant allegedly stole several $100s worth of products from the same public supermarket. In Polk County, Sylvester tried to steal not 1 but 2 carts full of groceries from Publix, where shopping is a pleasure, I might add. This is according to the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Grady Judd said that stunt, earlier in November landed him in county jail, where arresting criminals is our pleasure. That's funny. I missed that. I missed Grady Judd saying that, shopping is a pleasure. But, of course, Publix is based in Polk County.
Absolutely.
Publix is based in Lakeland, right in the heart of Polk County. So shopping is a pleasure. And then Grady Judd, he just pointed out that arresting criminals is their pleasure.
I love his zingers.
Yeah, so November 12th, deputies were called to a Publix store on US 98, Lakeland. When deputies arrived, they located Andrew outside of the store with a shopping cart full of groceries that he had not paid for. According to the sheriff's office release, the value of the items in the shopping cart observed by deputies was said to be $243.92. A store employee allegedly said the defendant had pulled off a similar caper less than 15 minutes earlier and then tried to do it again. So, instead of trying to do two shopping carts and kind of push one and then pull the other, or maybe do a right-hand push and then a left-hand push with two carts, he did it in two separate hits. So the first cart apparently had a value of about $206.10. The second cart was, $243.92. So you add it all up. He's alleged to have attempted to steal a combined total items valued at $450.02.
Fester, I keep laughing. Pull up his mugshot on your screen if you can. And when I look at MJ, look at his face.
Yeah, I have the mugshot right here.
Okay, it's funny. I keep giggling because the intro that you play, yep, that's me.
Yep,
that's
me.
It totally goes with his mugshot.
Doesn't it? That's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Doesn't it look like that's what's a big thought bubble coming out of his head?
You're right.
That's me.
Not what I was expecting.
Yep, that's me.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that guy. But there he is, stealing all this groceries. Too bad they don't have an itemized list of everything he stole.
Yeah, you know what? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
You know what? I would absolutely read the itemized list of both shopping carts.
Yes.
Where's his receipt? I can just go. I can just read the receipt.
I want to know what I have in common in my shopping habits with this guy.
Yeah.
Probably a lot.
Yep.
Except I pay for it.
Yeah, 2 shopping carts full of stolen property, charged with felony theft as a third subsequent offense for each of the 2 charges. Could face now 30 years behind bars. This guy's got a rap sheet, so all these felonies and priors that he's racked up, he could actually face 30 years behind bars.
Fester just brought something up. MJ, I bet you do this. I do it. You're at the grocery store. Do you judge the people in front of you and what they have on the conveyor belt, what they're buying? What you gonna do with that brisket? Oh, what are you gonna pair that? Oh, what are you buying all those?
No.
I just kind of imagine, what are they going to do with those groceries?
The brisket is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's, you don't question or you don't look down on people for normal items like a brisket or vegetables. You kind of look at the crap they buy. You kind of look at, oh my God, they're buying Fruit Loops, or they're buying, fruit by the foot, or whatever.
Yeah. No, I'm not putting down the brisket. I'm just imagining the scenarios in which they're going to eat it.
I buy both Fruit Loops and fruit by the foot, and I tell people to turn the hell around. Turn around. Look at your own cart. Don't look
Eyes
at
to
me.
yourself. Eyes on your own paper.
Eyes around. Go. Get.
I'm telling you right now that I do that. Yes, I do kind of look at what, but I don't.
What you got there?
But normal items, I don't think it's a problem.
No.
It's just some of the crap that people buy. All right, next morons in the news item here. This is, again, Florida story right out of the Village's News. Got to love that paper. The Village's News. Listen to this headline. Singer known for national anthem performances sentenced to 60 days in jail. And then I read on, and apparently she's performed the national anthem at Rays games. I don't know the lady's name. A local singer known for her national anthem performances has been sentenced to 60 days in jail. Stephanie Daniel Stone, 37 years old, known for her vocal star power, was sentenced on November 22nd to 60 days in jail for violating her probation. Stone is known for singing the national anthem at Tampa Bay Rays baseball games and performing local gigs at venues such as the Orange Blossom Opry and City Fire.
I've never been to the Orange Blossom Opry.
Those must be big operations up there in, the
Chiefland. Yeah,
the
Orange Blossom.
the three counties that the villages sprawl through. So here's the deal. She was driving the BMW sedan into oncoming traffic on September 24th when she was involved in a crash in Volusia County, according to the Florida Department of Corrections violation report. She told police that her friend had overdosed and she was taking him to the hospital while going the wrong way in oncoming traffic. Law enforcement allowed Stone to continue driving her passenger to the hospital. Upon arrival at the hospital, the passenger walked into the hospital under his own power and in no distress. Stone was arrested on charges of driving while license suspended and reckless driving, as well as a charge of violating her Sumter County probation.
Oh, my God.
Stone was placed on probation after she was arrested in January when she was caught behind the wheel of a BMW with a suspicious license plate. The South Carolina native was found to be in possession of cocaine, marijuana, and drug equipment. That would be called, what, paraphernalia. As part of her probation, Stone was barred from using illicit substances and alcohol. In July, she tested positive for alcohol use. Stone told probation officials her 17-year-old daughter had been arrested. I was stressed out and upset, and I consumed alcohol. So her 17-year-old daughter was arrested. Apparently, it runs in the family.
Sounds like a great family.
But she is known to sing the national anthem at Rays games?
Well, we know what she's going to be doing for her fellow inmates in jail.
All right, everybody.
Gather round.
Yeah.
Did the Rays ever do a background check on her? I mean, I don't see when the last time she did the national anthem at the Rays game, but I think she's done her last national anthem, at least at Tropicana Field. I don't think that's getting, I can't imagine they're going to fix that thing up.
We need to have her at opening day at Steinbrenner Field.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Know what? She could bust through like the stands
Yes.
in the BMW and like do donuts in the outfield, just rip it up, and then get out of the car. Oh, say, can you,
Have the orange jumpsuit on.
She's going around telling people she's a singer. Oh, really? What do you sing? Have you ever heard of a little song called The National Anthem? That's it.
So if anyone is a big Rays fan that goes to a lot of games, maybe you remember Stephanie. And now, hang on, let me get my reverb on here.
How many times do you
And
sing at the Rays
now,
game?
please rise for the national anthem, sung by Stephanie Daniel Stone.
Oh, my God. So, how many times do you have to sing at a Rays game to be known for
Well,
it?
that's a local singer known for her national anthem performances. I'd like to know. Contact the Rays front office and find out how many times Stephanie Daniel Stone has
Got
done the
stoned.
national anthem. What'd you say?
I said got stoned.
Yeah.
I want to see if she's on YouTube.
I looked it up.
Is she?
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Okay.
I tried. That's the first thing I did. I'm like, I got to find it. Believe me, I'd be playing her national anthem right now. But it's not there. Stephanie Daniel Stone national anthem, and nothing comes up with her.
Yeah, when you said somebody known for singing the national anthem, I was like, Whitney Houston's back? She's alive?
All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. There we go. Early morons of the news. I've got more. I've got a lot of. You know what? I think I'm carrying it over because listen, it's been what since Tuesday that we were live. We did a best of on Wednesday. Then they played a jillion songs in a row on Thanksgiving morning and then Black Friday. So you know what? I'm going to do a part 2 of morons in the news because we've got good stuff. And we'll put that in the next segment as well as whatever else I can cram the bleep in. So stand by. 6:53 here at the MJ Morning Show on, can't believe it's December already. December freaking 2nd already. Holy jamoli. Let me tell you about the Zero Red. 7 o'clock hour. Welcome, everybody. At 7:30, we're going to give you the Santa Sleigh List song. Brand new contest fires off today, and we're going to give away thousands of dollars to listeners just like you. Very easy deal. Santa has a sleigh list. It's not a playlist. It's his sleigh list, and it's the stuff that he cranks up on the sleigh while he's tooling around. And Santa's got some weird stuff, by the way, on the sleigh list. So every morning at 7:30, I'm going to give you the song to listen for, and then it's guaranteed to play sometime later today. And when you hear the song played that I give you coming up in 27 minutes, when you hear that song play later on during the day, you call up immediately, be caller 7, and you will win $1,000. So every morning at 7:30, I'll give you the song to listen for, and it's going to happen in, 27 minutes right here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. We'll get into our Thanksgiving happenings, what I did, what Fester did, what Roxanne did. So we'll get into that coming up in just a bit. Oh, Fester, you seem fascinated by the big college football brawl.
Seem fascinated?
Yeah, you seem fascinated.
Yeah, I am fascinated by it. That was a okay game. I don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah,
well, it was an upset, so it was a big game.
Michigan wins, but the fight afterwards was the best part.
Yeah, this was Michigan and Ohio State, and the Michigan Wolverines beat Ohio State, who I believe is ranked number 2?
Yeah,
they were.
It was a big upset because Michigan State, of course, the defending national champions from last year. And
no, not Michigan State.
Michigan.
I mean, excuse me,
Yeah.
Michigan. What am I talking about? My husband is a diehard Michigan fan, so that's all we talk about in the house. And he's been on like a crazy high for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
But Michigan was the defending national champion, and they've had a lackluster season.
Oh, man, you know what? It would have been great
well.
if Doug was there and he got pepper sprayed. That would have been great.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
But he might have had field access.
Hold on,
Yeah.
you've told us otherwise in the past.
Well, I mean, he's not like a throw punches.
He's not
fighter.
a punch you in the face
Yeah,
fighter.
he's not a punch you in the
But
face.
he's a slash your tire fighter.
I've got audio. I've got audio of the situation. So, Fester, would you like to describe exactly what happened?
All right.
And why there was this massive brawl on national television?
So the game ends.
Yep.
Michigan upsets Ohio State for the 4th year in a row.
13-10, I believe, was the final score.
Overall, a low-scoring game.
Yep.
They win on a last-minute field goal by a kicker named Dominic, and he kicks the field goal. They go ahead 13.
And this was played in Ohio.
In Ohio, at Ohio
Right.
Stadium. 4th year in a row, like I said. They're
Yep.
coming off their national championship year.
Yep.
And this was supposed to be Ohio State's year. And they still might win the national championship because they're going to be in the playoff.
But for Michigan to roll into their house and upset Ohio State, that's a big deal. And at the end of the game, after the Wolverines won,
they try to plant a flag in the middle of the field on the big O.
on the logo. So Michigan players take their Wolverines flag and like an MTV moon landing flag. They try to jam.
Which is funny
We've
because
landed.
there's a big M on both flags. So the big M flag for Michigan.
Oh, man. And then a melee busts out as Ohio State players,
they weren't having it.
They tried to stop the Michigan players from planting their flag in their house in the middle of their logo in the middle of the field. I mean, that takes some balls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ballsy move, man.
So, I mean, Baker Mayfield did it when he was in college, and I mean, you fight when the game's playing. You lose, you lose. But Ohio State came, and there was a fight. There were punches thrown. People dragged to the ground.
I've got more of the description. Then the pepper spray comes in just a second. So Ohio State players then confront the Michigan players midfield. Defensive end Jack Sawyer grabbed the top of the Wolverines flag and ripped it off the pole.
Yeah.
Ripped it right off the pole, and that's when it was game on, right? Then the brawl moved toward the Michigan bench. Then you had police officers rush in, and that's when the pepper spray started flying. Law enforcement confirmed that numerous officers pepper sprayed players to try to tamp down the brawl.
Just to get them to turn around.
Oh, my God.
What a mess.
Officers are authorized to use pepper spray to stop assaults and protect themselves and others. According to the Ohio State Police in a statement, Brian Steele, who is the president of the police union representing officers in Franklin County, posted that an officer was injured, and he says that they were authorized to use it. Ohio State Police said in a statement that multiple officers representing Ohio and Michigan deployed pepper spray. Wait, so does Michigan travels with like a law enforcement contingent?
Have you ever seen the coach of a college game run to midfield.
Yeah.
It's his state trooper that's next to him, regardless of where the game is played.
I guess I have seen that.
So, Roxanne, did Doug love it?
Oh, he was celebrating. Let me tell you. Yeah, he was drinking some tequila and really, really happy all weekend long.
He's moving on from White Claws?
This was a big game.
He was. I mean, he was so happy. It was like Christmas on Saturday night.
Was he drinking the
God.
Kardashians? Was he drinking 818?
No, not
The fact
818.
is, if you're the coach of Ohio State or Michigan, you can lose every game. You have to win the rivalry game.
Yeah.
You have to beat Michigan. You have to beat Ohio State.
But Michigan hasn't had a good season so far. We made a bet with our neighbor from Michigan playing Texas that we would fly their flag, the Texas flag, in our front yard if they won. And surprisingly, they did. This is earlier in the season. But it's not like Doug would have made that bet with an Ohio State person because they haven't been having a good season. It was a big upset.
Yeah. Ryan, Hoppy Hour is filling in for Andrew this week. Andrew's on, I'm sure, some Disney vacation somewhere.
He actually has a very serious medical issue, an itch.
No, he's on vacation. So I hopefully Hoppy got all the bleeps in this. This is the
I forgot Hoppy's editing it. Oh no.
So this is audio of the brawl.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Get back! Get back!
There we go. Some audio of the melee. Pepper spray a flying. Punches a throwing. Flags a ripping.
All the old men yelling, "Get back!" Those are sworn law enforcement officers. And they're not spraying pepper spray continuously. They're just shooting little psh, psh, psh into the crowd of players just to get them back.
You know what? They should have whipped out the water cannon and rubber bullets.
Dude,
that's what they should have done.
You know, if you're a Michigan cop, you were aiming for the Ohio State players. And if you were the Ohio State cops, you're aiming for the Michigan
and
players.
Finally on that, and that's Fester's favorite story, is the big brawl in the pepper spray with Ohio State and Michigan. The Big Ten Conference has announced they're fining Michigan and Ohio State $100,000 each for violating the conference's sportsmanship policy for the on-field melee.
Ooh.
Yep, on Saturday in Columbus.
Big deal. $100,000 to these programs is nothing. Yeah.
When they pay the coaches like $8 million.
They pay the players millions of dollars now.
Well, with the NCAA endorsement, all that stuff. But is a college football coach, that makes, $5, $7, $8 million bucks a year? Listen, I guess more power to you, man. But that's a lot of freaking money. Yeah. Hang on, what line? I should take line one. Who's on line one? Oh, it's our buddy Jacob. Okay. All right, let me check in with Jacob. Let's make sure Jacob had a good Thanksgiving. Jacob, well-known Tampa Bay area radio listener. Jacob, welcome back to the MJ Morning Show.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear MJ. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, MJ.
Jacob, do you think today's my birthday?
No. But it's coming up on January 24th, so I just wanted to make sure I got that in there.
You beat everyone to the punch, Jacob.
This is hysterical. He knows me. He's right. Wait a minute. My birthday is January 24th, which is absolutely right. But you want to get it in on December 2nd, so you make sure that you're the first to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like one of those magic tricks when you're like, do you think I'm going to flip over your card next? And you already see it in the pile and you flip the one that's already open. That's what it felt like. You think, I know my birthday. Yes, I do. January 24th.
Jacob, that might be the funniest thing on today. You know what? I might just shut the show off right now. That could be the funniest thing of the day.
No. Don't do that, MJ.
Jacob, in my entire life, I've never known anybody to wish somebody a happy birthday 7 weeks before the actual day. That's so thoughtful.
That's great. December 2nd, Jacob calls. Happy birthday song. Jacob, today's not my birthday. I know it's. And then he whips off my actual real birthday. By the way, you know who shares a birthday with me, Jacob?
Who?
I'm going to give you a musical clue. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready,
All right.
MJ Kelly. I'm so ready, MJ.
This person shares a birthday, did share a birthday with me. Jacob, do you know who had a January 24th birthday just like me?
No, I don't know.
Do you recognize the music?
I do know the song though because I do know the song MJ because it goes do 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 do. The song is from the Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers?
Yep, and one of the Blues Brothers was John Belushi, the other Dan Aykroyd. John Belushi, who passed away, and what was he, like 32 or 33 years old? You know, he died of a drug overdose at the Chateau Marmont on Sunset in L.A. At a very stupidly young age. He was born on January 24th, just like me. So,
and you were born in the year 1966, MJ. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. I can't believe how old I am getting, Jacob. Thanks for reminding me about that, Jacob.
I know. And MJ and MJ, I remember meeting you in 1997 when I was 11. Can you believe that?
You were 11 when I first met you?
Yes.
Where was it? Where was it? Like a crotchety old man CD signing?
No. It was at 93.3 when Casey Kasem came into the studio to meet me. Do you remember that?
I do remember the case. Absolutely, Jay. Oh, you know what? I do remember that. Absolutely. Hey, Jacob, I got to run, but it's always great to hear from you. And thanks for the
birthday, MJ.
Jacob,
So
am I going to hear from you? Am I going to hear from you January 24th as well?
Yes, you will.
Okay, I think it's a Friday this year, as a matter of fact.
No. It's a Wednesday.
Well, wait a minute. Let me check. Hold on a minute.
January 24th is a Friday in 2025.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a Friday next year.
However, Jacob is correct.
Man.
This year, 2024, it was a Wednesday.
Earlier this year, it was a Wednesday.
In January.
All right, so coming up, it'll be Friday this year.
Coming up, it'll be Friday this year. Well, happy birthday, MJ Kelly. Hope you enjoy your 59th birthday.
Oh, son of a bitch. Why do you do 50?
Oh, my God.
As I inch toward the, oh, my
Jacob,
God.
that is so funny.
I feel and act like I'm, 14. But, all right, Jacob, thank you. But we'll talk to you.
You sound like you're 31 still, You know
Just
what?
by
Your
Nice.
voice,
Yeah,
the way
thank
it
you.
sounds,
That's
you know?
and you know what? I feel like I'm 27 actually.
You know what?
I think I feel that, and I'm probably more active now than I was when I was 27. Jacob, buddy, have a great day.
I just figured I would make this phone call be funny on the first time you picked up MJ.
Well,
you know?
All right, good
and
job.
you did it, Jacob.
You nailed
Thank you,
it.
my friend. Have a good one. That's hysterical. Thank you, Jacob. You put a smile on my face
How
this
funny
morning.
is that? You just wish people happy birthday. It's not my birthday. Yeah, but it's coming up, right?
It's coming up in January. That's fantastic. I didn't even get to the additional morons in the news here. Do I have time to do this? Probably not. All right, I'll sprinkle some additional. All right, I'll tell you what time is it? 7. All right. No, I shouldn't. I ought to stay relatively on time here. All right, 7:17 at the MJ Morning Show, but that was well worth taking the phone call from.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and then we did the Ohio State and the Michigan crap. All right, when we get back, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Happens every single morning about 7:25, and then at 7:30, we're going to give you the Santa Sleigh List song to listen for your shot to win $1,000. So brand new contest launches today at 7:30. We're going to give you a song title, and it's from Santa's playlist, which is really Santa's sleigh list. And he listens to some weird stuff, by the way, on the sleigh. So we're going to give you the song title at 7:30. It'll play sometime later today. And when you hear it, just be the seventh caller. You win $1,000 here on 104.7 FM. It's Q105. And that's going to be on the way in just a mere matter of moments. Hey, you still... 6, and this is it. We're starting an hour and 20 minutes nonstop MJ. We do it every single morning. So since it's 7:26 and I'm supposed to announce the song to listen for the brand new contest, which launches this morning, the Santa Sleigh List, I will announce the song in about 4 minutes. So just minutes away. Stand by. Hey, I've got the turkey fryer fire pile we'll get to in just a bit. I've got 3 of them, and there could be more. I found 3 over the weekend, 3 turkey fryer fire stories coming up in just a bit. Oh, also, you smell it? You smell that? It's not a turkey fryer fire. I'm sniffing out what appears to be a classic crotchety old man call coming up here on the MJ Morning Show, which, just fits right in with an item that I have. So that's coming up in just a bit. Hey, quickly, Fester, let's deal with your Thanksgiving first. Okay. And you said that you guys were headed to Cracker Barrel for Thanksgiving. Did that come to fruition?
As you know, I am a person generally of my word. Not all the time, but most of the time. And yes, we went to Cracker Barrel. And it was awesome. As always, as you would expect.
What did you say? It's like $17.95 a person or something?
It was like $17 or $18 for the adult plate.
Right.
$8.99 or $8 for like the kids' plate.
Wow.
And
so is it all you can eat or just one plate?
It's one plate.
One plate.
It's not okay. If you want all you can eat, you got to go to the Golden Corral.
Okay. Well, I saw a line. I don't know where it was, but I saw some story that the Golden Corral had a line wrapped around the building.
Yeah.
And the headline was, "Do any of these people cook at home?" And it had a picture of a Golden Corral, and people were lined up in the parking lot. I think they wrapped the building. They were waiting for like an hour in line to get a seat at the Golden Corral.
It's an event. I mean, places like Cracker Barrel, Golden Corral, Bob Evans, which I've heard, I haven't been to Bob Evans for Thanksgiving, but I've heard nothing but good things. May have to visit Bob next year.
Which Cracker Barrel did you attend with your family?
We went to the one in Wesley Chapel in the Grove kind of shopping complex on, I think it was 54 or 52, somewhere up there.
Right.
And the wait was about 30 minutes, which is fine.
What
Because
time did you guys show up?
got there at the crack of 4:50 and 5 o'clock.
It's prime time for Thanksgiving
It
dinner.
was. You know what?
Yeah.
We got seated while the sun
Did you
was.
buy some like taffy on the way out?
So
in the general store, you buy some Charleston shoes.
okay, they had them.
Of course they
had them.
Of course they do.
My daughter did buy some candy there. We bought a couple of.
Did you buy some tic-tac-toe type thing with golf tees in the gift shop?
No, but I bought the checkers set that has like the woven checkerboard and the big checker chips on it.
Did you rip off some antique knick-knack off the wall and take it home with you?
I can't get into that, but yes,
I took some snowshoes off the wall at the Cracker Barrel.
I broke.
I brought a DeWalt power drill and undrilled it right off the wall.
So if you were to go to a Cracker Barrel today, MJ, they are in full Christmas mode.
Oh yeah, they're
As
ready.
Every retailer probably is right now. And the Cracker Barrel has very narrow little pathways through their store.
Yeah, it's tight.
And I brushed against a display of Santa mugs.
Oh no.
And I dropped a mug.
Just one is
Clunk,
probably
just one.
lucky.
So grateful that it was just one. I could have knocked over 20 of them, and they all would have shattered. But listen, if Cracker Barrel was great, it was packed. And by the time we got out, it was really dinner time. The sun's now gone down by the time we got out, and the line was probably double what it was when we sat down.
All right, it is 7:30 exactly, so I still have to talk about my little Thanksgiving deal, and people were wondering what happened to a certain thing that I think I said I was going to do, but I guess I didn't. So we'll get to that in a second. Then Roxanne's Thanksgiving. Well, I have no idea what Roxanne did. I knew that you were going to Cracker Barrel, at least you said, so we'll get into this in a second. First, though, it is 7:30. And today we launch a brand new cash contest. It's the Santa Sleigh List. And these are the songs that Santa plays on the sleigh when he's doing all his Santa business. And he's got a pretty whacked and crazy playlist. But it's a sleigh list. So here's the deal. Every morning at 7:30, I'm going to give you a song title. I'll do it in just a moment. That song will absolutely, positively play sometime today. When you hear the song play that I'm about to give you, be the seventh caller, win $1,000. How about that? How about some nice holiday cash, some Christmas cash? $1,000 could be yours. You're listening for today, Macarena.
Who knew? That's Santa's song.
Yeah. Oh, Santa loves Macarena.
Like, he's got these on Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer. Macarena.
Macarena.
Macarena was actually the leftover or the reserve reindeer.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reserve unit?
Yeah.
All right, so listen for Macarena. When you hear the song Macarena play sometime today, be the seventh caller at 800-990-1047. You'll win $1,000.
Oh, no.
So you think it's going to be a Christmas song, but no.
It's
Macarena.
the Santa Sleigh List, and your chance to win $1,000 every single day. But you got to listen at 7:30. I'll give you the song title, which I just did.
No.
Macarena is the song. It'll play sometime today. When you hear it, keep the radio on all day long. When you hear it play, be the seventh caller, win $1,000.
He loves the dance. That's what it really is.
She's pantomiming next to me the dance.
Yeah, because that's Santa in his sleigh.
Do you still know it?
I mean, I have to hear the music, and I'm sure I do. I'm sure. Yeah.
Don't play the music because then it'll count as a play, and then you got to give away the grand. All right, so Roxanne, what did you do for Thanksgiving? Was it a very West Chase Christmas or Thanksgiving, rather?
It was. My mom and I hosted, and so we were at her house in West Chase as well. And so, I actually cooked a corn souffle. That was my big contribution. But then I purchased the other things. I just didn't have time with the children to do a turkey myself. So guess where I got stuff from? Flamestone. It was so easy. They're so great there.
Flamestone sold turkeys?
Yes.
Wow.
And the whole meal if you wanted it.
Flamestone does a very nice job.
They do. It was really
I had dinner
delicious.
at Flamestone a couple of months ago, and it was great.
They love you there. They love you. So that was a really nice Thanksgiving. Then we drove to Fort Lauderdale on Friday. And
why?
We went and stopped at my aunt's house. We stayed with my aunt on Friday and had like another Thanksgiving with her. And the funny thing is we took the elves with us. So the
No,
elves,
the elf on the first
the
of
elf
all,
on the shelf.
you're not supposed to have two. It's only one elf. I told you guys are violating things by having
Nope.
two elves in your house.
We're in violation.
Total
They're-
violation.
Listen, these kids.
They
they're
cancel
two
out
kids.
each other.
They're two kids. They both need watched. So there are two elves.
Hold on, they both need watched.
They need to be watched.
Need to, please use to be.
They both need
You know how-
watching.
Need watching.
I hate when people say, "Yeah, my house needs painted."
As I said it, need painted.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to go
my
there.
house needs painted. No, your house needs to be painted. Oh, it drives me crazy when
Yeah.
people leave out
So they
certain
need-
verbs.
They need watched. They need watched. And so we have two elves. And the elves, they moved at my aunt's house. They moved from the box they were traveling in
Mhm.
to the Christmas tree. So that was great. But then the elves didn't move the next night.
Oh no!
Yeah. So my kids were really, really torn up about it.
What
so we
naughty elves!
Yeah, what naughty elves. What a big Michigan game it was.
No,
when-
usually the
on-
elves don't move if the kids misbehave. If the kids are
Well-
bad, the elves don't move.
Yeah, I get that. So
Oh.
that's why my kids were all torn up about it because they
They were-
didn't move. And they're like, we didn't do anything bad. Why
They were
didn't the elves?
psychoanalyzing their
Gotcha.
whole day
Yeah.
as to what they did to
All right.
misbehave?
Yeah.
Then let me just quickly blow through our Thanksgiving. We had like 11 people over. I did fry the turkey. The turkey came out fantastic. We got a fresh Florida bird. Our turkey came from apparently some farm in Riverview. And it's like a local turkey. It was fantastic.
Oh, the Riverview turkeys.
I brined it for like 18 or 20 hours. It was fantastic.
Isn't that the
Fried
name of the mascot at Riverview High School?
maybe so.
The Riverview turkeys.
Fried it in the fryer in 100% peanut oil. It was fantastic. Tons of people are asking about the mashed potatoes. Yes, and we started shooting video because did I make a mention that we are going to post a video on the mashed potatoes? Did I say that?
You probably did.
Yeah,
It sounds like something you would
well,
say.
but a bunch of people like, hey, MJ, where's the video on the mashed potatoes? Talking about the world famous Joel Robuchon, dead French chef's mashed potatoes, where it's like close to equal parts of butter to potato. It's the most ridiculous sick pile of butter you've ever seen. I think we had like 3.5 pounds of butter that went into like 6 pounds of potatoes. It's like a half, or I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of butter. And then you put milk in it, and then you have to use a ricer. You've got to rice the potatoes after boiling them and peeling them. And of course, we found the Lorette potatoes up at the Union Square Market. Julian brought them back from Manhattan, smuggled the potatoes back. And then you got to do this ricer. Michelle's got some German stainless steel ricer that you got to put the potatoes in and crank it. And it like extrudes the stuff out like the Fuzzy Pumper Barbershop from Play-Doh, but much, much finer and thinner. And then you got to put the potatoes, you got to heat them up, and then you got to rice them again. So once they turn into like the fine puree, then you rice it again to make it even finer. You mix the butter in, the milk. Let me tell you right now, these freaking mashed potatoes are the most unbelievable mashed potato. It could be the best food item on planet Earth. They're the labor involved in these things are ridiculous. It's like a 3-hour commitment. But the potatoes were fantastic. So all was good. Turkey fryer was great. No turkey fryer fire at my house. However, I do have a pile of turkey fryer fire stories. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Oh, and let me mention, before we move on, that as far as Thanksgiving leftovers, you still have another 10 days before you must throw them away. So you got another 10 days. I'm kidding.
That seems like an awfully long time.
It is. I'm not trying to botulize you folks. Now, they say today is really the last day for the leftovers.
Shut up. What do they know?
Yeah.
You keep it refrigerated, you're fine for a week or so.
The food experts, the food experts, are saying that today, they say it's like 3 to 4 days of leftovers, and then you get the stories, people get sick and they get botulism or whatever they get. But listen, leftovers are a great part of Thanksgiving. You got the turkey carcass in the fridge. You pick off that thing like you're some kind of vulture on the side of the interstate, going after roadkill. But
Yeah.
but all of the leftovers, they say, should probably be done by today. They generally say it's 4 days for leftovers, which would be what? From Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So today. Today should be like the last day to blow through the leftovers.
But you know what else you have to think about is when the stuff sits out on the table for X amount of time. You know, think about you have the party and the turkey's still sitting out 3 hours after you've been eating it. That's what I worry about
too. Got the fish dip out for 12 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are terrible worrying about how long it sits out. Just refrigerate it. It's fine. The problem is you start running out of stuff and you don't have a good Thanksgiving meal. Then you're just eating stuffing. It's like, okay, this has gone on too long.
We had honey baked ham. We had the turkey. We had the crazy mashed potatoes. You know, let me tell you what happened with the mashed potatoes. So let me tell you why we started shooting the video, but then the tensions rose a little bit because we were running late. We were planning on having Thanksgiving dinner at 4 p.m., but we got behind and we didn't have dinner until like 7:30. So we started to shoot the different stages of the mashed potato preparation, and then it just got a little tense and frustrating because we're running so late, and we just said, F it. But Julian does have a couple of scenes of the initial steps, so I think he's got a pile of the butter. So I'll see if Julian can send over some of the video, and I'll just I'll post it like posthumously. Posthumous potato-ly. I'll see if I can post that later on. So, yeah, the plan was to put together like a quick little 1 minute of all the different steps of the crazy Joel Robuchon mashed potato recipe. But, yep, it did not happen. But I'll see if I can get one chunk of the video and maybe post that a little later on. I do have a classic crotchety old man call we'll play in just a little bit. Stand by. I do have the turkey fryer fire pile. Let me just get this out of the way. It is a yearly tradition, folks. In fact, if you were listening at 6 o'clock this morning, I came right out of the chute with the cheese on the turkey fryer fire. And I couldn't believe, Fester, you were such a dolt. You didn't pick up immediately what I was doing at 6 o'clock when we started the show this morning.
I am not nearly as surprised at how big of a dolt I am.
He's Fester Dolt.
That's true.
Thank you.
Reporting the news.
I can't believe how many people still insist on frying a turkey in their garage. I mean, it just you are warned to keep it at least 10 or 15 feet away from any structure. And it seems that last year, Fester, I want to say that turkey fryers were actually light. Yeah. I don't think last year we didn't have, I can't remember anything significant as far as turkey fryer fires across the United States. And I was wondering if we were starting to peter out, if turkey fryer fires were becoming a thing of the past with all of the education and the video PSA of a 99-year-old Dick Van Dyke saying, learn not to burn, and he's rolling around in a turkey fryer fire. He should do that, actually. But seriously, got 3 fires of note, one up in Connecticut. They tried to fry the turkey in the garage. It destroyed a $4 million mansion in Weston, Connecticut. Not Western Connecticut, but Weston, Weston, like Weston, Florida, down near, Fort Lauderdale. Fire appears to have sparked a destructive fire at a mansion in Weston, Connecticut after residents tried to fry a turkey in their garage on Thanksgiving. What were these morons thinking? Oh, man, my turkey was fried 25 feet away from the house in the middle of the backyard, in the middle of the lawn. The Weston, Connecticut Volunteer Fire Department said they responded to a home on Weston Road after getting reports of a garage fire just before 3:45 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. Firefighters found the mansion up in flames. Efforts to contain the fire were derailed because of a structural collapse and dangerous fire conditions. Man, it sounds like this thing was fully freaking involved when they showed up. Crews said a vehicle drove over the water supply hose while trying to put out the blaze, damaging the line and completely stopping the flow of water for several minutes. Who's the schmuck on wheels, literally, that drove over the fire hose?
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Also, I thought those fire hoses were supposed to take that kind of weight. I thought you're supposed to be able to drive a car over those hoses. Firefighters from nearby towns. So all kinds of firefighters from nearby towns came in to help put out. Listen to this. Do you know how long it took to contain the blaze?
How long?
This is insane. Anybody want to guess? How long did it take to contain the turkey fire blaze in this $4 million Connecticut mansion?
I mean, usually once they arrive to the scene, they
How
knock it
long?
down pretty quickly.
How long, Fester?
15, 20 minutes?
No! Keep going.
30.
No! Keep going.
45?
No! Keep going.
Hour and 10 minutes?
Oh, keep going.
5 hours?
Keep going.
5 hours? Longer than 5 hours?
Yes, it was.
What? They had this chain shifts?
Keep going.
But 8 hours?
Keep going.
More?
I don't know if this is real. I'm reading a story from NBC Connecticut. This is from NBC Connecticut. They claim that the fire took 16 hours to contain.
Oh, my
nuts.
God.
That's a long time. That's
Yeah, I
like
would say
3
so.
shifts of firefighters.
No one was injured. The fire department said it appears the fire started in a garage as a result of frying a turkey. The official cause of the fire is under investigation. The house is deemed uninhabitable. Oh, you think fire went on for 16 hours? Red Cross is helping the family that lived there. This is a big house, too. I saw the house was like 9,000 square feet and $4 million and gone because some jackwagon decided to fry the turkey in the garage. What a schmo. Listen, I had no issue with I technically could have fried the turkey in my garage.
Sure you could have.
But because I had no spillover, I had no fire, it was a perfectly contained, propane gas flame in my, no issues. But just in case, you never fry a turkey under a porch. You don't fry it in your kitchen. You don't fry it in the garage. Fess is looking at a video now of this, what's that, News 12 Connecticut. Look at this thing.
Unbelievable.
The whole house is gone. Weston, Connecticut. Is this audio? Is there audio on this thing?
It might be.
Yeah, go ahead.
Officials say a car drove over a supply hose on
yeah.
Weston Road,
There we go.
which stopped the flow of water for several minutes. Chief John Picorni says the cause of the massive house fire is still under investigation, but preliminary info suggests it was the result of frying a turkey.
Well, luckily, with the rain we had recently, we did not have any brush fires due to the structure fire, and the fire was completely contained to the
Thanks,
house.
Chief.
First responders were back on the scene Friday, clearing debris and digging through rubble. A truck could even be seen towing a damaged car out of the driveway.
We have some deep-seated fires, and we're getting to work on them.
Anyway, all right, so that's Connecticut turkey fryer fire number 1. Then 8 people displaced after a turkey fryer fire in Carmichael, California. This is in the Sacramento area. 8 people displaced. According to Metro Fire, the fire started in the garage of a duplex on Rye Way as an attempt to fry a turkey went afoul. Get it? Afoul. The fire spread to the rest of the residents, causing major damage to one unit, moderate to the other. So that's California. Then the final one, and I'm sure there are more, Minerva, Ohio. Fried turkey goes up in flames, sparks another garage fire. What is wrong with these idiots?
I mean, a country of, hundreds of millions of people, 3 or 4 doesn't seem like that many.
What the hell? Minerva, Ohio, cooking Thanksgiving dinner. Unfortunately, didn't go as planned. Minerva Fire Chief Aaron Stoller said crews were called to a home on West Southview on Thursday, 11:50 a.m. Structure fire. First responders arrived to find the home's garage on fire. According to the chief, flames were coming from a turkey fryer that was inside the garage.
Look at that detached garage.
Yeah.
It was totally burnt
Oh,
out.
that's terrible.
Firefighters moved the fryer out of the garage quickly, extinguished the blaze. No injuries reported. That fire took about 5 minutes to extinguish.
That's what I'm
Next to
talking
the
about.
16 hours for the Connecticut mansion.
Well, somebody did park on the hose.
Holy crap. Unbelievable. You want to hear something else unbelievable?
Yes.
I worked out on Friday morning.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Listen,
Get
guys,
out.
guys, listen.
Wait, did you worked
What?
out?
Listen.
Like
Listen to me.
exercise?
So, you know that I walk my roughly 30 miles a week. Last
walk?
night I did 5 miles. I did walking in the dark last night. I did I left at about 7:30. I did a 5-mile walk last night. Got home about 9 o'clock.
You are a modern-day Moses,
5
man.
miles, baby. It was fantastic. It was nice and brisk outside. It was cool. Shorts and a T-shirt, my weighted vest. So I walk my 30 miles a week, but I also do X-Force Body with Michelle. We do Mondays and Thursdays. But last Thursday was Thanksgiving, so they were closed. So I moved my workout to Friday morning. This is what's amazing. Can you believe that I weighed in on Friday morning? So after
my gosh.
after Thanksgiving Thursday, Friday morning at 9:30, I weighed in. I was down half a pound from my weigh-in from Monday.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I am not freaking kidding. After Thanksgiving, I was down. And listen, this is after we had a story in the last week or so that the average person gained 6 pounds. I thought that was a little high, but there was a story that we had that the average person gained 6 pounds over Thanksgiving.
We'll write up a press release about yourself right now.
And here I was down a half a pound hours after the Thanksgiving Glutton Fest.
You're a medical miracle.
And I'm down a half a freaking pound.
Somebody call NBC News. We have a breaking story happening right now.
Yeah, let's get Fester Dolt on the phone. Hang on a minute. This is an NBC News special report. Now, from New York, here's Fester Dolt.
Coming into the newsroom right now, we have breaking news regarding a radio personality from Tampa. Radio host MJ weighed in 1/2 pound less after his Thanksgiving meal.
This has been an NBC News special report.
We have a reporter live on the scene in Tampa. Roxanne Wilder, give us the latest.
Just to clarify what you just said, Mr.
Hold
Holt.
on, we just shut down the report. It's over.
back.
No, we're back. We have more news.
We have more news.
This
We
is
have breaking
investigative.
news.
There's more special report from NBC News. Here's Fester Dolt again.
Immediately, we must go out to the field where we have a reporter live on the
Yes.
scene. Roxanne Wilder, give us the latest.
This has turned into an investigative report. How in the world does a man lose a half pound following what is normally a 6 pound gain for us, rest of America?
It is rumored tapeworms. MJ has a tapeworm, a parasite that lives inside of his colon.
I don't know how the hell I lost a half a pound.
We have another investigative reporter, not myself, who's going to crawl up his butt and find out.
But I do. Thank you very much.
That'd probably be me.
Hey, it is like a butt spelunker.
All right, so you lost a half pound. So most of the Thanksgiving weight, I mean, 6 pounds, that has to be water weight, right? That's
Listen,
like including the drinks.
When people really fling it in. I mean, people eat a lot typically on that. I thought a 6 pound gain was a little excessive though. But hey, listen, we had a story about that. Anyway, moving along, and I want to get into Black Friday. I want to get into Cyber Monday in a minute. But first, though, this is kind of gross. This did not make the news, and I'm sorry. I'm actually late telling this story. This happened to a relative of mine, and my mother told me the story over the weekend. So I went. My dad had another episode. So
they stayed home for. They didn't come over to your house.
No, they haven't come over in a while. But my parents were over in Fort Lauderdale. My dad was out of the hospital in a rehab facility, and then had my dad coded again.
Oh, no.
So my dad at the rehab facility went into cardiac arrest again, and luckily at the rehab facility there was a cardiologist on the floor at the time. So they revived him, resuscitated him again. They took him by ambulance back over to the Broward Medical Center, the ER, and my dad back in ICU. They put him back on intubation with oxygen and everything. And then they took the tube out. I was actually there on Saturday, and they took the tube out, and they had him in a mask. So they put the BiPAP mask on, and my dad is, talking. I mean, he's, this is like the third time that he's coded. He turned 82 back in October. It's just unbelievable. My brother, who's a physician, my brother's a surgeon, and he's like, it's a miracle. My brother can't believe my dad survived the first incident. where he collapsed in my parents' bedroom, and my mom is trying to do some raggedy ass CPR on him.
Aw.
And my brother got over there in like 6-7 minutes and continued CPR. Then rescue came about the same time, and then they revived him from the first episode. He's had 2 more since. And then they sent me video yesterday. I was there all day Saturday. You want to try getting airfare? Try getting a flight on Thanksgiving freaking weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened, Wednesday, and Thanksgiving. I couldn't leave on Thursday, and he was stable in the hospital. So, I tried to get some flights. I was able to get a flight Saturday morning at 5:36. So I took a Spirit flight 5:36 a.m. Saturday morning, and then try getting a flight back on Sunday. That was not going to happen.
You could have taken a car ride with me and my kids home.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that would have been a thrill. So I was able to get a Saturday night. I was able to get a 10:45 flight, and then I don't know what happened, but the flight, we were 2 hours late leaving Fort Lauderdale. So I didn't get in until Sunday morning. I didn't get in yesterday morning until 2 a.m.
Oh, my gosh.
But I spent, the whole day there in the hospital with Dad, and he's conscious, and he's typing. He had the mask on before they pulled the tube out, and he was using the iPad, and he was just typing stuff on the iPad. So I go over to Fort Lauderdale. I'm there all day Saturday, and my mom tells me this story. I'm like, why the heck did you not tell me this story sooner? So my aunt Jerry, as in Geraldine, that's the Italian side of the family. So she was down last week, and something happened on her Delta flight. This did not make the news. And I said to my mom, why didn't you tell me this story? She's like, why would you need to know this story, Todd? Why? I'm like, Mom, I do a radio show. This is content. Oh, I didn't think you would be interested. It's interesting. So my aunt comes down from LaGuardia, and it was Friday, November 22nd. So I'm a little late telling the story, but since this didn't make news anywhere, it's fresh. So my aunt was on a Delta flight, November 22nd, LaGuardia to Fort Lauderdale, and it was a 9:59 departure. And it was Delta 1148, LaGuardia to Fort Lauderdale. Delta 1148 on November 22nd. Flight was supposed to leave at 9:59. The flight did not leave until 11:40. So 1 hour and 41 minutes late. Do you know why the flight was late?
Why?
Oh, I didn't think this would be a story. I didn't think it was. Apparently, this is grotesque. This is really disgusting. The flight was delayed nearly 2 hours because they had to clean up something.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Somebody
Top or bottom?
Somebody smeared feces all over one of the lavatories on the plane. The mirror, the walls, the door, everything. What would possess somebody to do that? The flight was delayed an hour, 40 minutes because some passenger on the previous flight, and I checked the Flight Radar 24, so I found, of course I did, I found out where it came from. It came from Detroit. So it was like a 7 a.m. flight from Detroit to LaGuardia, and somebody on that flight apparently smeared one of the lavatories with, I mean, could you imagine that? Having to, take your hand and just, what caused them to destroy the lavatory by smearing poop all over the place?
Drugs.
What kind of a sicko would do this? Drugs?
I think it's got to be drugs.
My
what
God.
drug? What drug gives you such a high that you want to smear poop all over the...
None that I've taken.
The plane was like destroyed. It took 2 hours nearly to clean up the freaking plane in order for them. And my aunt asked the flight attendant because they didn't tell the passengers waiting at the gate at LaGuardia. They didn't say, hang on a minute. Let me get my PA going here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Delta flight
number 2.
1315.
Flight 2.
Or Delta 1140, whatever it was.
All right.
So they didn't get on the PA system at the gate and say, folks, our flight is delayed because someone smeared poop all over one of the bathrooms.
They should have said
it's all
that.
over the place. They didn't say that. They said it was a maintenance issue.
Yeah, it's a maintenance issue. All right.
It is.
I mean,
It's a maintenance issue.
maintenance issue number 1 in the book is poop.
During the flight, I guess my Aunt Jerry was having a conversation with a flight attendant, and that's when the flight attendant said, yeah, the delay was because somebody smeared feces all over one of the bathrooms on the airplane. By the way, it was, in case you're ever on this flight, it was a Delta Airbus 321, and the tail number was November 105 Delta X-ray.
I'll be on the lookout for it.
So if you're ever on a Delta Airbus 321 and the tail is November 105 Delta X-ray, so it's N105DX, that was the poop flight. All right, so please
Poop
make a
there
note
was.
of it.
Yep.
Is that unfreaking believable? Who would do that?
That's disgusting. I mean, they're just some creepy people.
I mean, disgusting beyond belief.
Was it vengeance? I mean,
I don't
did something
know.
happen on the flight?
We don't know.
Was somebody denied service or
that's-
something? Did
that's-
you get angry?
That's the unknown. Something, unless it was somebody that was having a mental episode, somebody just whacked. Was it a revenge thing? Did someone get angry on the flight from Detroit to LaGuardia that they did it in their hand and then smeared it? I mean, it's just.
Other passengers must have not known, because
Oh,
if you're
my
mid-flight and this happens, everybody in the plane knows, and then it would have gotten out.
Right.
Well, no, this story did not make the
Right.
news, but I mean, this is unbelievable. I probably should tip off some of the aviation websites about this story. Just insanity. 8 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. Fester, we got to get into your pizza incident. I find that to be somewhat humorous. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit, so stand by. I have a classic crotchety old man call that I want to play. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to play that right now. And then I want to talk about Black Friday, and today is Cyber Monday. It just seems like both have kind of lost their luster, you know?
So because people just shop all the time on their phone.
Yeah.
Black Friday, today's Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
I heard tomorrow is Travel Tuesday, where you book vacations.
Really?
Yeah. I think I saw a
thanks
commercial
for
for
that
that
tip.
over the weekend.
All right, hold on. Well, also you have Giving Tuesday.
That's what I was thinking
Is
Tuesday
tomorrow
was.
Giving Tuesday?
Or is it Wednesday?
What is
Let me double check.
Small Business Saturday was it?
That was Saturday.
Okay, all right.
All right, hold on. We'll get into all that in a second. First, though, I want to play a crotchety old man classic call. Why? I saw this. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. There is an upscale mall in the Los Angeles area that is now charging mom and dad for their kid to go visit Santa Claus. Remember, Santa at the mall was always free. You could buy a picture, right?
Right. The pictures are what cost money.
Yeah, exactly. But Santa at the mall was always free. Listen to this racket going on. A Los Angeles area shopping mall has parents spending up to $165 for the chance for their kid to go visit Santa Claus and sit on the lap. Now they're charging $165 to sit on Santa's lap. This is at the Westfield at Century City. They've got timed entry passes to visit Santa at Santa's North Pole Adventure. Up to $165 a kid to see. Are you kidding me? What the? Parents are urged to reserve ahead. Slots are filling up quickly, especially on weekends. $109 for the Elf Pass, $125 for the Reindeer Pass, $165 for the VIP Pass. Oh, that allows privileged kids into Santa's inner circle. Wait a minute. So for the Elf Pass and the Reindeer Pass for $109 and $125, you can't even sit on Santa's lap?
Would you just wave to him across the way?
What the hell?
You just look at
You
Santa.
have to make eye contact with Santa Claus.
Well, that might be a better thing because Santa probably has a little bit of germs on him with all those kids jumping on his
kidding.
lap.
So making reservation
Yeah,
times.
COVID clause.
Making reservation times to see Santa is not new. I've seen this.
Oh, no, I know that, but they don't charge you. I've never heard of them. A mall charging the kid to see or sit on Santa's lap. I know that they're, as we mentioned a minute ago, they've had like the photo packages where, $29.99, get a picture of your kid, sitting on Santa's lap. And then some of the malls like stop parents from taking pictures on their own.
Yeah.
Right? That wasn't permitted. You can't take your own picture. You got to buy. If you want a picture of the kid with Santa Claus, you got to buy the package.
Yeah. So last year we took Hudson to see Santa at International Plaza.
Yeah.
And they had a very ornate display. It was really,
Right.
It was
But
a
they
whole
didn't
deal.
charge for the kid to sit
No.
on Santa's lap.
So I did.
The cojones
Right.
of this mall charging up to $165. It sounds like for the 109 and the 125, you don't get into Santa's inner circle. You got to spend the 165 for the VIP pass to get into Santa's inner circle.
We got in line to see Santa, and we couldn't make a reservation because it was last minute. So we get in the standby line. We get right up in there, and then we got there during elf shift change at the photo booth, and there was nobody manning the camera trying to high pressure sales me into buying the package.
Yeah.
And they had the best Santa. He's like, you take as many pictures as you want. And I'm like, that's awesome. And Santa was great at International Plaza last night.
Anyway, unbelievable, folks. They're charging $165 to sit on Santa's lap. And, well, that reminds me of a classic crotchety old man, Milton Fludge Cow call.
Good morning, I'm Naveen Hall.
Oh, thank God you answered. Let me speak to the moron manager.
Just hold on, sir.
Jack Humphreys.
Is this the moron manager?
Who am I speaking with?
Are you the idiot that hired that?
One minute.
Are you the butt wipe that hired that drunken Santa Claus?
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Drunken Santa Claus?
Let me get a word in edgewise. I brought my daughter to the mall. Fat little kid named Estelle, but that's beside the point. She's 7 years old and she was traumatized by your liquored up and drunk and completely smashed out of...
Wait a minute. What do you mean drunk? What are you talking about?
Your Santa Claus reeked of liquor.
Wait a minute. Hold on, sir. You're making some serious accusations.
Damn right I am. Your Santa Claus was all smashed and liquored up, and it was breathing and frothing and threw up on my little...
Wait a minute. We use several Santa Clauses here. When were you into the mall?
I was in there about 2 or 7 days ago.
Well, can you be more specific? Because
it was a big...
which Santa Claus this was?
It was a big fat guy with a white beard, and he smelled like a freaking liquor store. All I can tell you is it gets worse from here. Your damn Santa Claus, after he was all liquored up and was breathing all over my kid, bit my little daughter on the hand. Now she's tested positive for rabies.
Wait a minute. You're saying that our Santa Claus bit your daughter? Wouldn't someone have said something about this while you were here?
You're an idiot is what you are. How can you...
Wait a minute.
How can you...
You're getting damn abusive to me. I don't have to take this from you.
How can you hire such a moron?
Wait a minute.
Keep talking, schmuck face.
Listen, you're getting very abusive to me. I don't have to take this kind of crap from you.
I haven't even...
I'm getting very fed up with this situation.
I
think you better stop this right now. If you have a complaint to make, you come down to my office, fill out the forms, and we'll take it from there.
You sound drunk. Are you drunk?
You listen to me.
You sound drunk.
I sound drunk.
I think you're drunk.
Who do you think you're calling up and harassing?
You're all liquored up too.
You know something? You call my office country, and you're going to harass me.
Hold on a sec.
Come down here and you fill out the forms like everybody else does.
Time out, Humpy.
No, it's Humphreys.
I also got to fill out an accident report because
what accident report?
When I was leaving your stinking mall, I slipped and fell on a wet spot and I cracked up 3 ribs.
Oh, come on now. Now you're trying to pull a phony insurance scam?
And I chipped a vertebrae.
You what?
I chipped a vertebrae.
Come on.
Let me make a list for you. Drunk Santa, bit my kid, has rabies, fell down, broken ribs.
You know something? You're just a phony baloney. Goodbye.
But the good news is they didn't charge $165 to sit on Santa's lap.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
My God.
That's a lot of money.
Classic crotchety old man call. That's the first Milton since Hurricane Milton, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought I was going to have to put Milton Fludgecow, on permanent retirement since we were scarred by Hurricane Milton back in October.
it's a coincidence. That's all it is.
Boy. All right. This is not a coincidence. Fester has a run-in at a place of business in,
no.
what county was this?
Polk?
In Polk County?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
I mean, this guy has some set on him, I think. I mean, this guy, I didn't escalate it. I didn't do anything to escalate it. I actually de-escalated it.
All right, so let me ask some questions here, and then we'll get into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I think I want to take some phone calls on Black Friday. It just doesn't seem like it's anywhere near the same thing, and it's been like that for a number of years. But I want to grab some calls first, though. Fester's situation. Now, if you missed it, Fester was out last week. Fester was out. We did live shows last week on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, we did a best of. And then Thursday and Friday was more music. 15 songs in a row. 15 songs in a row. All right. So Fester was out last week, and you borrowed one of the used RV units from your real job, which is General RV.
Yes.
So that's one of the perks of the job?
It's
Do you have to be like a certain level of salesperson to request borrowing one of the used inventory RV units for personal use?
I think you can't be like a raging alcoholic or something. I think that's the guideline. You can't have a DUI or something.
All right.
No, I mean, if you're a full-time staffer there, you're a respected staff member, which I don't know that I'm respected,
Right.
but you can borrow a pre-owned RV.
And you borrowed what, a 30-footer?
30-foot 2024 Jayco 27U.
Oh, the Jayco 27U.
Oh.
So that's a 30-foot. That's a Class C, isn't it?
It's a Class C.
That's a Class C unit right there.
Yeah,
Class C. Class C.
Class C.
No,
Yeah.
it's a Class C as in Charlie. So this is a 2024. It's a relatively new unit.
Yes.
I would have opted for the Cousin Eddie unit, like outside of Christmas vacations house.
We have a 2013 available, and I just decided.
What was the price on this 2024 Jayco Greyhawk? What was the what was the sticker price on this thing when it was new?
When it was new, is probably in the 120s or so, one teens. I would guess.
How many days did you have it?
5 days.
And how many miles did you put on it?
Not too many. I think 150.
Oh, that's it?
Well, because I drove it from the store in Seffner.
Oh, to Polk County.
To my home in Tampa.
Right.
To Auburndale.
Right.
Then back to my home.
Then
back to the store.
That was it.
So I didn't take it like, the Grand Canyon.
All right, so how many total miles are on this unit?
4,000 now? Maybe
Oh my
3,600?
So this is relatively brand new.
Oh, but a brand new
you
coach,
know
yeah.
what? Let's do a deal where people can buy the used RV that Fester just used with the family.
Yeah, just don't run any DNA samples on the mattress and you're golden.
Crapper's full.
Yeah.
All right, so
everything's been drained out.
no, seriously, Fester, let's try to sell that unit.
I'd love to. So it was a wonderful RV.
All right,
Served us super well.
So it's a 30-foot Jayco Greyhawk, and
27 used a floor plan.
all right, and
I
then
gotta find pictures of it.
all right, so Fester, if anyone wants to look at this unit,
Yeah,
and
send me a text.
you'll make a great deal on this, right?
Oh, great deal. Oh, great deals. And better than great deal.
All right.
Stupendous.
All right, if you want to get Fester's used unit that he just used from General RV for a couple of days, that's a nice looking. That's got bump outs and everything.
Bump outs and everything.
Nice.
Yes,
Wow,
super nice.
look at that.
That's
So,
good looking.
I was driving this all over town for a couple of days. It
I-
was a beautiful RV.
If you want to maybe see the RV, go ahead and text Fester 813-310-8444. That's Fester's personal cell number. 813-310-8444, and Fester will wheel and deal on this virtually brand new 2024 30-foot RV.
So
Looks like it's built on a 40 E450 chassis.
it is the Econoline E450 Cutaway.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. All right.
So listen, it was a beautiful RV. We had a great time in it.
All right, so
And
tell me about the pizza incident.
So we went to, in Auburndale, a place called Camp Margaritaville, which is
Is that a campground?
yeah, it's like a camp
Is
resort.
that, hold on, Camp Margaret? Is that licensed by the Buffett family?
Yeah, it opened up a couple of years ago.
But is it Jimmy Buffett family related?
I think Margaritaville is kind of separated. Margaritaville has become a synonymous term for just vacations.
What, does the estate of Jimmy Buffett
I would
own the
imagine
name Margaritaville?
They have to have something to do with
Yeah,
it, but
all
I didn't get to look over the financials.
All right, so you're at the Margaritaville campground.
I asked for the financials, by the way.
You go out to dinner. What happened?
So Tuesday.
This is another edition of Am I Right or Am I Wrong?
So Tuesday, toward the end of the show, you guys gave me a call, right?
Yeah, we
That's
did.
true.
And I was at the RV.
About 9:30 on Tuesday.
I was making breakfast on the side of the RV, had the griddle out, and I was talking with you guys, and I said where I was staying. And a listener sends me a text message, and it says, "Oh my God, you're 5 minutes away from us. Enjoy your vacation. Happy Thanksgiving." And I wrote back, "Thank you very much." And they said, "Don't forget, if you go out for pizza, go to," and they recommended a particular place. I was like, all right, thanks. So a couple nights later, hey, let's go out for pizza tonight for dinner. We go to this place, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very nice Italian restaurant pizza place. It wasn't like a super fancy
All right,
restaurant.
so it was, all right, well,
It was
hold on.
it had pizzas and paninis.
You said very nice,
but
but
they think they're a
it's
little
like a-
higher. It's like
it's like a family restaurant.
it was more like a stone pizza. It wasn't like a hand-tossed pizza
All right,
inside a blodgett oven or anything like that.
What are you rambling
No,
about?
it-
You're trying to use buzzwords. You have no idea what you're talking about.
It wasn't like a
Hand tossed.
no. It wasn't. It was like a stone
What was
fired.
it? What was it? Pre-made dough
He doesn't
from,
like your pizza
from
vernacular.
Cisco.
It was like, the kind of pizza places that like cook it with the inside the oven with like the fire in the back, like
Yeah, that's like a wood burning oven.
yeah. So
All right.
they positioned they were a little bit on the fancier side of
All
pizza
right.
places.
All right, so pizza and pasta, right?
So I have one rule for pizza places that I go to that I sit down at,
Right.
and that rule is they have to have fountain drinks. I
you,
am a
you don't want bottled or can offerings. You want the soda to be delivered via fountain service.
Yeah,
okay.
I eat plenty of pizza, and if I eat in a restaurant, I'm going to drink soda with it. I'm going to drink Coke or root beer or something with my pizza.
No Coke, Pepsi.
Fine, I'll drink Pepsi. No big deal. I'm not picky, but I want it to be a fountain drink. And this place didn't have fountain drinks, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had cans of
Oh,
they
boy.
had Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite. or
We've got
something
a
like that.
problem brewing. I see
Okay.
the storm clouds are
So,
coming.
I ordered a couple of pizzas. Pizzas weren't huge. They're like 12 or 14-inch pizzas. So I
Right.
ordered 2 pizzas. I ordered the special, which was the meatballs. Very good.
Okay.
Right? And the guy says, what would you like to drink? I was like, we're fine. I don't say anything else to him.
So
Built cans
how
are like,
did you determine that they weren't fountain? Oh, you saw cans
you
on other
saw
tables?
I saw cans.
Cans or plastic
No,
bottles?
cans.
Cans
the
of
12-ounce
soda.
cans in like a little freezer cooler behind the guy.
Oh.
So I knew that was his drink offering. I looked
Gotcha.
around. There's no, red cups that you traditionally
I
see in
wonder why they don't
pizzerias.
have because the profit margin on the fountain drinks are so much better.
I mean, he was, and the profit had nothing to do with it as far as I was concerned. I just don't buy cans when I go out. I don't like buying cans of soda. I want to drink as much soda as I want, which is usually on the side of gallons
Okay.
compared to, and I was like, we're okay.
Right.
And it wasn't a financial thing, but I just prefer the taste. My wife prefers Diet Coke from a fountain.
Oh, so Allison will not drink Diet Coke out of a can or bottle?
She will, but her preference is the fountain.
The fountain drink.
It's anywhere at a pizzeria,
Okay.
and you should have fountain drinks as far as I'm concerned.
Listen, if you've got a fountain drink that the fountain head and the mix is tweaked properly, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
We remember we had a whole conversation on like why McDonald's Coke seemed to be better than other restaurants' Cokes, and didn't it come out that they chill the syrup or something for or whatever
Or
the
the
story
water's
is.
super
Or
cold.
the
or-
there's some kind of trick that McDonald's do to make their Coke products even better than a lot of other places. Anyway, so you're at the pizza place. This is in Auburndale?
It was in a town next to Auburndale is a town called, is it Lake Alfred?
Oh, Lake Alfred, of course.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I've never spent any real
right.
time in Lake Alfred. It was really my first time there.
Yeah, I've been through there.
Yeah.
Of course, I know Lake Alfred. All right. So you're at the pizza restaurant. You order food.
Yeah.
But they did not have fountain drinks, and that's your preference.
So the bill comes, I pay the bill, and you pay before you get the food out. It's not like you get the.
What did you do for drinks?
Right across the street is a 7-Eleven.
Wait a minute, you went and got big gulps and brought them into.
Yes,
What-
yes, that's exactly what I did. Yes, and I'm like, you know what? We're okay. And it's not like it was a financial thing because if I would have ordered like 3 or 4 cans of soda, it would have come to the same amount that the 3 or 4 or the 4 big gulps.
Oh, wait a minute. So you've got their pizza and meatballs on the table.
Yeah, well,
And
it was getting made. It was getting made.
Okay.
You know.
And while they're making the food, you went to 7-Eleven, brought over a handful of big gulps?
Yeah, I'm carrying back 4 big gulps like a freaking animal, walking through parking lots, carrying, and they didn't have like the 4 drink holder, that little cardboard holder that the McDonald's have. Right. They didn't have that, so I'm like carrying plastic bags full of big gulps. I make it back to the table. I give the kids they had a Sprite Zero because I'm trying not to plow them with sugar or caffeine.
Oh, so you gave the kids sugar-free drinks?
My wife had her Diet Coke. In the jumbo big gulp, and I had
fountain Diet Coke.
Yeah, and I had what's the Dad's root beer? The root beer with the bulldog on it.
Dad's.
Yeah,
I know. I've heard of Dad's.
I had a root beer, right? And the food comes out. We're enjoying the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff.
Pretty good. All right.
So we're feeling good about the meal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Kids are eating their pizza. I get the meatball. Everybody has a piece of the meatball. We're having a nice night out. We're sitting outside. We're not in the restaurant.
Oh, so you're outside.
We're outside.
Oh, okay.
We brought the dog with us because we're camping with the stupid dog that we got. So we have to go find dog-friendly places.
Just don't call your dog stupid. The family loves the dog. Stop it.
The family does. Right. Me, however, different story. Anyway, so we're all, the 5 of us, including the dog, we're all there.
By the way, there's a Dad's root beer and there's a Bulldog root beer.
Is there? I think it's like the Pepsi offering of whatever it was. It was like, yeah. But
does 7-Eleven have both fountains? Because some places have, I've been to some convenience stores where they've got the Coke fountain and they also have the Pepsi fountain.
They had like 20 different offerings.
All right, because some convenience stores, some of these mini marts have 2 fountains, one for the Coke products, one for the Pepsis.
So, I mean, I still spent like $6 or $8 on all the sodas. So it wasn't a financial thing.
Uh-huh.
Then we're enjoying the meal, and we're not drawing any attention to ourselves. The kids are being surprisingly
so food
well
was
behaved.
Decent.
Food was good.
What would I think of the pizza? Because I'm a pizza snob.
I don't know. I mean,
incidentally, there's a video I shot that you got to hear.
I mean, I thought, if you know what, and here's what's happened to my life because of you. Every time I have pizza, I think in the back of my head, I wonder what MJ would think of
what would MJ? What would MJ think?
You have essentially ruined me enjoying pizza without thinking about you. So we're at this place, and I guess the owner comes out or the head chef comes out, and he comes to the table.
Uh-oh.
And he says, how's the food? Right? Very reasonable question.
Mm-hmm.
And so I turn around and, suddenly I'm big balling it. Yeah, I'm the Mr. Customer here. I'm like, the food is great. Thank you very much. And he goes, hey, we really appreciate your business. Again, I feel really good about this transaction.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, thanks a lot. Our pleasure. Right? I didn't get into the fact that we're vacationing here or it was recommended by a friend. And he goes, hey, but next time, how about you leave the 7-Eleven cups outside?
Stop it.
And I kind of give him a glare. And he's like looking at me and he's like,
you should have said, I am outside.
And he's like,
you're out on their patio. You mean don't bring the 7-Eleven
cup
to our place.
And there was a little sign off to the side, no outside food and beverage. That's fine. The guy doesn't sell fountain drinks. And I'll mind you, after this incident, I thought of 1,000 good comebacks.
You know what happened? The waitress, was it a male server or a female server?
There was an old Italian guy behind the counter.
Now, who was your server?
It was probably the chef. Who
was the server? Who brought you the food?
I don't know who brought the food because I'm walking back with the 2 bags of soda.
All right. So you know what happened? The server went back inside and said, "Hey guys, table 17 out on the patio. The big fat guy went to 7-Eleven.
A fat cheap ass over here is walking to the 7-Eleven.
Brought the drinks over.
I'm not trying. And listen, I know.
So then the owner of the chef comes out and had to say something.
And I know that running a restaurant's tough.
What did he say again?
He goes, hey, how about next time you don't bring in the 7-Eleven cups? We don't appreciate it.
Here's the thing. People are very particular. You're a good example about what they drink while they eat. And it really changes, enhances the whole experience if you don't have your right drink that you want.
So what do you say to the guy?
And I'm looking at and
he calls you out. What do you say?
And he wanted to say something else. And of course, like I said, I thought of much better comebacks after it was over.
What did he say?
You didn't have a good comeback?
I mean, I think I was like, I said something like,
Were you stuttering like an idiot?
No, I looked at him. I was like, all right, man, all right. I said, all right, man, get out of here like that. I kind of motioned him away, and he wouldn't leave. And I looked at him and I said, hey, all the best.
That's it?
That was it. I mean,
that's your comeback? All the best?
I wanted him to leave the table. I mean, in hindsight, I'm like, do you enjoy trying to call me out in front of my family, you son of a bitch?
Sucks. All the
you
best?
trying to embarrass me?
He
I
calls
didn't know
you
what to
out.
say to the
That's
guy.
All you said was all the
In
best?
that nanosecond, I wasn't
Oh my
prepared.
gosh,
Because
you
the son
told
of a
him.
bitch set me up with
Hold on.
How's the food? Food's excellent.
You're
Thank you for your business. I'm
Dude,
feeling good. And then he blindsides me with an insult.
Dude, you're a radio personality. You're supposed to think quickly on the fly, and all you could come up with is all the best?
That's going to be my new comeback for things.
But
all the best.
Shuts
All
things
the best.
down. When you it shut him down. He turns around, he walks away, and I'm sure he was still fuming. And I was
showed him.
I was blindsided by his insult, and and like I said, after the fact, my wife sees me mumbling the rest of the meal. She's like, "You're thinking of better comebacks than just all the best, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yes, son of a bitch." And, it wasn't nothing.
So even your wife is giving you a hard time?
Well,
all
she's
the
mocking
best?
me. She's like,
that is the lamest
That's what she
comeback.
said.
You ought to be kicking yourself for the rest of eternity with the worst freaking comeback ever.
And the food
all the best.
Hey, MJ. All the best.
Yeah.
All the best. Hey, all the best. I mean, when somebody's trying to get you into something, when you say all the best, it kind of just like diffuses it and gets anyway. The guy was.
Why didn't you actually, instead of having some snappy, smart-ass comeback, you should have just said, hey, if you would have fountain drinks, then we would have purchased from you, but we don't like our soft drinks out of a can at a restaurant. Why didn't you just tell him the truth? You couldn't think of that?
In that nanosecond, look, see this table right here in the back? That's the table we're sitting at right there. Right there. That's our table.
See, I don't even think outside. I think you should be able to bring whatever drinks you want.
The guy walks out of this store, walks past me, and right here, this is the chair I was sitting in.
Right.
We have the next time this little pizzeria in the middle of podunk nowhere, Polk County. Sorry to people who live in Lake Alfred, but it's not a big town. It's not a big town. There's like a Taco Bell, a 7-Eleven, a train depot, and this place. And I'm like, you son of a...
Anybody have any thought? You know what? Let me grab some calls on this.
This is a good call topic.
Anybody have any thoughts on Fester's soft drink situation?
Anybody have any better comebacks?
Yeah, no kidding. I had 100 of them like 5 5 minutes later, I could have written this.
Yeah, you're driving away in the RV, right?
Yeah, I'm mouthing like this son of a bitch.
Anyone have any thoughts on this and Fester's incident at this pizza shop in Lake Alfred? 800-990-1047.
And I'm not mentioning the pizza shop. The food was good.
Food was good,
you know,
but they didn't have fountain drinks, and that's what caused the whole kerfuffle.
But this whole experience got ruined by this entitled owner. Who does he think he is?
800-990-1047. Would you like to weigh in? Any thoughts on the Fester situation? What about not having fountain? Why would a restaurant not have fountain drinks?
I mean, it was like in an older building.
Yeah, but still,
I don't know.
I don't. If you're like a pizza shop where you're just slinging, pizza slices and
pizza paninis, a couple of pasta dishes.
All right, 800-990-1047. Any angle, anything we're missing here? Any comments you'd like to make? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. All right, phones are ringing.
Now, mind you, I'll never go back to this place.
Ryan, are you screening anything in there? I don't see you screening any calls. All right. Yeah, screen some calls here.
Let's get them on hold.
Yeah,
let's get them going.
Yeah. All right, hang on a minute.
Just give us names, and we can handle it from there, Ryan.
I put a bunch of them on hold. Just give me names, and we'll go to phone calls here.
So,
and I see Ron's going to be up first.
Yeah, but he's like, how about next time? I'm like, listen, bleephead, there's not going to be a next time because I'm never coming to Lake Alfred again, probably.
All right, Ron, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning, guys. Love the show. My response would have been, after that, would have been, how about increasing your profit margin with fountain drinks?
Yeah, that's what I don't know if you heard that, but I said that earlier. I said like your profit margin is much greater on a fountain drink than if you're selling cans. Absolutely, Ron. You're 100% right.
And I probably would have used the pun. It was like, can you think about, you think about increasing your profit margin with fountain drinks?
That's a very specific pun, Ron. I probably would have kept that one to myself.
It's a very good point. Thank you, Ron. Mark is in Tampa. Mark, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good.
So listen, when I see the sign, when I come up to the place that says no outside drinks or food or whatever, and I come in there and I'm ordering my food, and all I see is they have cans and I want fountain, I'd ask them, you don't have fountain drinks? And when they told me no, the next thing I would have said was, well, have a good day. I'd have walked out. I'd have never even ordered. I'd have gone and left.
Honestly, if I looked up the Google reviews for this place and
Right.
it was really good reviews, if I would have seen that they didn't have fountain drinks, I've actually called restaurants before and asked if you have fountain drinks.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Right. And I get it. But now the second part is when he came over, he didn't need to stand up there in front of you while you're eating.
In front of the wife and kids?
He could have done it, exactly.
Yeah.
He could have done it a little bit more pertinent, I guess, without being a
A little more
jackwagon.
privately,
Yeah, man
right.
to man, man to man.
Right. So, I mean, this guy, it really kind of took me aback for me not to have a zinger right away.
Yeah.
I mean, but I've called pizza places before and I asked, do you have fountain drinks? And if they say no, I don't go there. That place, have you Santoro's Pizza in Tampa?
Yeah.
I called them. I said, you have fountain drinks? And they said yes. I'm like, great, we're on our way.
There
If
you
they
go.
would have said no, I wouldn't have gone.
That's the deal breaker in the Fester family.
When I eat pizza, I mean, it's only pizza. I mean, if I go to pizza, I want a fountain drink.
Michael, or Mark, rather, thanks for the call. Let me grab one more on this, and we got to move on. Michael is next on the MJ Morning Show. Michael, hi.
Hey, MJ.
Yes.
This Publix Michael.
Hey, hey, Publix. Michael works at the Publix on West Kennedy in the Beach Park area. Hi, Michael.
How's it going? Hey, I don't have anything to add with the Fester thing, but I got a moron in the news for you. Last night I was at church, right? And I lecture, so I'm up on the altar.
Michael, you listen to the show, right? All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead, Michael.
And I'm up on the altar getting ready to, read the gospel, and some knucklehead walks in. I am the Antichrist. I'm here. Holy shit.
Oh, hold on.
Jump.
Did you just say holy bleep, Michael, as a pastor?
I thought I heard schnit.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. So, hold on. Some guy walks in and starts going, I'm the really?
Yes.
I'm scared.
And about 15 people got up and tackled his butt and walked.
Oh, because you don't know if the guy's about to pull out like an AR or something, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, thank God there was a TPD officer. Actually, he came to church that night.
What church was this, Michael?
St. Paul's in Tampa on Fletcher and Dale Mabry.
Oh, my God. That's insane. All right. From fountain drinks to I am the Antichrist. All right. There we go. We've got it all on the MJ Morning Show.
All right. Now, thank you for having nothing to add about the thing we're actually talking about, though.
All right, well, it's a good, good quick end to that story.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, I'll see you at Publix, buddy.
You got it.
So what? Hold on. What happened with the guy that they tackled?
Oh, they took him outside, and then I asked the officer. I said, "Did they hook him downtown?" He goes, "No." I walked him off the property. He goes, "I see 20 of these people every day."
All right.
He's homeless and crazy.
Okay, all right. Listen, I just don't want someone to have like a gun or something.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. See you soon.
Exactly.
Thanks, man. Have a good day.
You too.
All right. It turned out to be a pretty interesting story, actually.
We still don't really have any good comebacks, though.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, I came up with all kinds of good comebacks, in my head after the fact. But son of a gun. I mean, I don't think I was in the wrong, but the guy tried to put me together on it.
All right, today's Cyber Monday. Friday was Black Friday, and it just seems like Black Friday just doesn't have any, zing anymore. There's no spring in the step, but it feels like it just fizzled.
And you almost want to avoid places on Black Friday. That's how I feel. I had an errand to run, and I was like, I don't want to go anywhere.
But that was like that years ago. Now it seems that you can go out on Black Friday, and it's not insane. You don't have people. Listen, it wasn't that long ago where people were lined up beginning at like 3 a.m. for the doorbusters at Walmart and Target and
So the doorbusters are dead. The doorbusters, people fighting over toaster ovens.
Yeah,
those
like
days are over.
a $15 blender, and someone gets trampled and dies over a freaking blender.
All of these places now being online, they now put their sales out weeks in advance.
All right, here's the deal. I want to take some phone calls. Did you go shopping on Black Friday? I don't think the malls are jammed. Like, remember on Black Friday, you'd have fights in the parking lot over spots and just crazy stuff. any observations? I was not out on Black Friday. I was not out shopping. But I'd love to hear from people. But it also seems that Cyber Monday, I'm not hearing the same buzz for today, Cyber Monday, that I recall years, even like 2-3 years ago for Cyber Monday. All right, let's grab some phone calls on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Were you out and about on Black Friday? Was it busy, not busy? What did you see? And then for Cyber Monday, remember the stories that people were going to be distracted all day at work on that employers were, upset because the employees were going to be on the computers all day on Cyber Monday trying to score online deals? It doesn't seem that that's the same, anymore either. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. I'd love to hear from you. Any observations on Black Friday? Saturday, that's typically what? Small Business Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Is Saturday. And then today's Cyber Monday.
Yeah, and you were correct, MJ. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday.
Thank you. Is anybody participating in Cyber Monday today? I mean, it just doesn't seem like either Black Friday or Cyber Monday are a thing anymore. 800, well, also a lot of the businesses, Fester, I think you pointed this out, they start their Black Friday deals 2 weeks ago, you know?
Remember people used to camp outside of Best Buy?
Yes.
Starting Monday, and they were there all week.
All right, phones are all loaded up here. 800-990-1047. Just keep listening. When I hang up, try to get back in, but every line is ringing. Let me put some of these on hold to help out Ryan, who's trying to screen over there. I put some of those lines on hold. All right, let's go to calls. Michael in St. Pete. Michael, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hello.
Morning, guys. How are you today?
Hey, Michael.
Hey, long-time listener and caller here. Just calling you guys. I'm hearing that. Being, in retail for years and, switching careers and not working retail, I decided to had to replace the TV after the storm.
Right.
And I was thinking about going out, and I said, you know what, let me try this online. Let me just see kind of what's going on there. So I went to, looked at Walmart, ended up going to Best Buy, purchased a 85-inch on Best Buy.
Nice.
And a couple things for the wife and for the kids and stuff, because it wasn't too bad. It was fairly priced right. And so I did all my buying online. You get a text message telling you when your order's ready. So I get in the truck and, I go out there to pick everything up. And it looked like complete chaos in the parking lot. I'm like, okay, I guess everybody's buying a TV because there's all kinds of trucks and people are parked crooked. And
which location was this?
This was out in by Tyrone Mall.
Okay.
In Pinellas Park.
All right, so you're saying that this place was jammed?
Yes. Oh, right. Absolutely. So they tell you to do a curbside, but I just wanted to go inside, just do it old school. So I park, I go inside, kind of see what's going on inside. So there's a lot of people, but there's nothing crazy going on. There's a long line, so I get the lady my phone, like, here's my order. She scans it. She goes, okay, cool. Just give me a few minutes and we'll grab everything. Okay, no problem. So I go, I get the truck, park in the front. There's people parking all kind of crazy way, worrying about getting hit. And about 15 minutes go by. I'm like, okay, not everybody here has TV. So I go back in. I go, hey, I'm not trying to be rude. I know you guys are busy, but what's going on? And they said, oh, our system crashed. I go, oh, lovely. I go, not for nothing. I said, but doesn't my order paid for and stuff? They go, well, yeah, but we can't release it.
Oh, man, because they couldn't see anything. Wow.
Right, they can't see nothing. And I go, but the lady scanned my phone. She sees my order. She got the ticket, and it says what's on the ticket, right? And it shows it's paid for.
Yep.
I go, okay. And as I'm talking to her, there's a lady next to me talking to the security guy who sits in the front with a ticket, checks people in and out.
Yep.
The lady's next to me, and she's like looking at the guy, and she goes, I just don't understand how you got to be so rude. And he's like, ma'am, how do you think I'm being rude? You told me you have a receipt, and I told you, where did you get it from and if I can see it? Because for all I know, you could have walked outside, came back in, and grabbed the receipt. I just can't give you something off the shelf. And it was like a big altercation literally right next to me.
Wow.
And she's like, the best part.
All right, so let's just cut to the chase here.
Give me the abridged version.
How long did it take for you to get to your TV?
About 45 minutes.
All right, so they got the system back up.
Yeah, they got the system.
And you said this was Best Buy at Tyrone?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's a very long way to a happy ending.
The guys there were fun, but to come back for Fester's comeback earlier, the lady next to me, she looked at the guy. She says, "You're gonna have a really long day."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I promise you, I'm not gonna have a long day." Oh, yes, you are.
All right. Listen, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your call went off the rails.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Keith in Spring Hill. Keith, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going today?
Black Friday or Cyber Monday?
Black Friday. Me and my wife and I, we've always enjoyed actually the hustle and bustle of Black Friday, but it's not like it used to be because we went to 4 or 5 different stores, through Hernando County, and maybe a little busier than normal, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's not like 5, 10, 15 years ago. It was a whole different. I mean, you had a guy die at like a Walmart on Long Island. There was like a doorbuster deal over CD players, and a Walmart employee got trampled to death.
But I remember, but I really think, even 5 years ago, it was still kind of crazy with the hustle and bustle side of it. I really feel like COVID changed everything.
Yeah, maybe so. Keith, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
That's a great point.
All right, Saeed in Tampa. Saeed, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ, long-time listener since the 90s, since I moved to Tampa.
Thank you.
Yeah. The Black Friday thing is no more like before because of the internet now. Everyone is shopping on the internet.
Yep.
It's not that crazy like before, but there's a lot of scams going on with the prices. I know. I'm just talking about, like, let's take, for example, clothing. I owned clothing stores for the past 20 years, and when I get to a store and he says 60%, 70%, and then you look at the tag and you see an item that didn't cost them less than $5, they're pricing it for $70, and then you get 50%. So there's a lot of scams going on in the price.
Yeah, it's the old mark it up and then cut it down racket, which is
like I said, when you buy clothing, especially in clothing, when you buy from the manufacturer, they give you that the tag that
the suggested retail price.
Retail.
Yeah,
I remember when I buy a suit that says suggested retail $4.99, the suit cost me $60.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Holy crap!
If you see a shirt that says $89.99, that costs you $21.
Wow, that's pretty good
so
stuff.
That's how you play with the price, and you say 50%. You're always making money. Yeah. But those guys are going out of their mind. Yeah. I went to I just walk into I don't shop from Gap, but I just walked in to see, and I look at a T-shirt that it's not worth $5. And it's priced $49.99, 40% off.
Wow. Sayed, thanks for the call, buddy. Thanks for listening for all these years. I highly appreciate it. Julie in Wesley Chapel. Hi, Julie.
Hey, MJ. I've been listening to you forever. Apparently, Wesley Chapel, it was some kind of bizarre mania. I made the mistake of going over to the outlet area, and it was just a zoo.
All right, so Black Friday was a zoo in Wesley Chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I go over to the outlet. I live over there, and so I get so there's no. First of all, there's no parking, and I'm like, okay, if I don't get lucky and get a parking spot, I'm out. So I get jammed up in there for like 15 minutes, and then I start losing my patience. Like all of it just left me. So I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. People like standing in parking spots, like when one person gets out and starts waving their family member over to come over, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, somebody's going to get hurt.
That's where you just say, you know what, I'm out of here. I'll get a frozen custard at Culver's on the way out of here.
Have you ever been, MJ, to that outlet mall, the new outlet mall?
I have. I've been up in there.
But it's one road in and one road out.
Yeah, I know.
So
I've been up in there.
It bottlenecks. If it's a super crazy busy day, it takes you 30 minutes to get out of there.
Yeah. All right, Julie. So did you end up just leaving?
No. And the police were like marking off certain areas, so so I know which area to go in and out of to get somewhere quickly. And then I was like trying to take a turn, and then the police guy looking at me like, no freaking way are you going to turn that. We have to go this way. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm trying to get out, and then somebody leaves, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll go ahead, and I'm like, okay,
All
fine.
right, so it sounds like we had isolated pockets of Black Friday mayhem, but still, it's just not the same as what it used to be.
Like
Julie, thanks
stampede.
for your support for all these years. I appreciate it. All right, no Cyber Monday. All these are Black Friday calls. Daniel, St. Pete. Daniel, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? I'm a first-time caller. I've been listening to you guys for about 2 years now after I discovered the radio show. I mean, you guys are fantastic since you guys are basically what I used to listen to in New York. So it's good to have a radio show again. That I love to listen to.
Where in New York were you?
I grew up in the Bronx.
So what did you listen to?
Yeah.
What did you listen to in New York?
Z100.
Rockin' America. Z100. The Z Morning Zoo on Z100. Hot rockin' Z the flamethrower. Z100. Z100. Hot hits all weekend long. Z100.
All right, so you're about to say you listen to my buddy Elvis Duran up there. Is that it?
Yeah, I grew up listening to him, but I've been living in St. Pete since 2020. But I wanted to call because.
And you think we're okay? We kind of do the job?
Oh no, you guys are. I'm going to say proud an 11 out of a 10.
Oh, awesome! Wow, that's all right. Thank you, man.
Wow.
So
I praise.
And definitely, you guys make me laugh every morning. It's a great show to listen to. No, I was at the West Shore Mall on I live just over the Howard Franklin Bridge in St. Pete. So we.
The West Shore Mall's on life support.
I'm sorry. We went to the.
You mean International?
Friday.
No, West Shore still has a mall.
They do, but it's on life support.
Yeah, it's not as robust as it once was.
Listen, now they're dickless.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, West Shore Mall is dickless.
Once you lose your dicks, what's next?
They lost their dick. Dick's is now over at International. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I grew up in New York, and obviously I also lived in Ohio, and about 5 years ago, Black Friday was nuts. I went to the mall Friday to see Moana 2 with my son, and I almost forgot that we were going to the mall, and it was about 2 o'clock. I was surprised that there was almost nobody at that mall.
Yeah.
I mean, I was stunned by the lack of crowds there.
Yeah, listen, they've lost virtually all their anchors, right? Saks is gone, and then Dick's took over Saks.
I think they still
and
have
now,
Macy's. Do you have a Macy's?
Now, is there still Macy's there?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Sears is gone, and that didn't even turn into Spirit Halloween this year.
They didn't even want it.
That's why they're talking about knocking down that mall and building something new. But I heard the financing fell through, so they're not knocking anything down anytime soon. But listen, I'd like to see West Shore do well, but unfortunately, I think that mall's seen better days. Obviously.
Hey, I have to ask you if you don't mind. How is Moana 2? I haven't gotten a chance to bring my children yet, but they're looking forward to it.
I'm sorry?
How was the movie?
Moana 2?
The movie, how was it?
It was actually it was good. It was good. We took my 5-year-old to see it, and it was originally meant to be a TV series that they changed back to a movie. So
Moana 2, I think, was #1 at the box office, and then you had Wicked, which was the previous weekend's
weekend,
#1. That was #2. Anyway, I believe I saw it was a record weekend. I think it was. I think for the theater with both Wicked and Moana 2, I thought I read that it was the biggest Black Friday weekend, Thanksgiving weekend in box office history. I got to see if that's accurate. I thought I saw that. Hey, buddy, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. And thanks for the kind words about the show. All righty. What time? 8:46? We got a lot. Look at this. Look at this pile. Hold on.
Whoa.
Look,
Wow.
I mean, look at this stuff.
Jeez.
I still got to get to. If you're watching MJ TV, you just saw me fan out the pile.
I don't see how Roxanne and I are going to get a word in edgewise.
But Cyber Monday, all Black Friday calls.
Yeah.
Like no Cyber Monday calls.
Because everybody shops online all the time.
Yeah, Black
I need
Friday
something
is
from Amazon.
The
Okay.
day, yeah, right? Who waits? If you want something online, you buy it right now.
Hey, you guys know about the Diddy Dangle?
Uh-oh.
I don't even want to guess what that is.
What do you think the Diddy Dangle is? Take a guess.
Is it an accessory that he hangs from his junk?
All right. No.
Like a Christmas ornament, but from
No.
from his.
Is it like he brings in dancers who dangle from the edge of a balcony just for extra thrills?
No. Come
Some sort of
on.
ritual?
Decent guesses, but the Diddy Dangle. Come on.
Is that the plea agreement they're holding in front of him?
No.
I don't know
All
what.
right.
It's a new dance move, and it's like I don't know what part of your body you would dangle and shake. But
The wiener.
Yeah.
New.
The wiener.
Listen, we just talked about Dick's Sporting Goods and
Yeah.
their new location
Good
at
segue.
International. All right. So the Diddy Dangle, this is reminiscent of Suge Knight.
Somebody got held over a balcony?
Yeah, allegedly by P. Diddy, by Puff Daddy.
He's not that strong.
Yeah.
So he and Michael Jackson have something in common. Remember when Michael Jackson held blanket over the balcony?
Poor blanket.
Was that in Paris?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Paris or somewhere in Europe.
Fashion designer Brianna Bana Bongolan. Who the hell is this?
Sounds like a Calypso song.
Could you bring up a picture of Brianna Bana Bongolan?
Brianna Bongoland. It sounds like places you're going to
Anyway,
make
this
up locations.
Kokomo.
This individual has filed a 17-page lawsuit in Los Angeles court against Sean Diddy Combs, alleging sexual battery, infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment. This person claims that Diddy dangled the fashion designer from the 17th floor balcony and threatened to kill her, according to court documents.
I'm shocked at this information.
I'm sure you are. Wow. She's seeking $10 million in damages for the lasting emotional distress that she claims that she suffered. Lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court on November 27th. So that was, Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday was the 27th. So this is fresh. Our first day back since Thanksgiving. And wow. But listen to this. This is an actual quote from the lawsuit. On or about September 26, 2016, Sean P. Diddy Combs sexually battered Miss Brianna Bana Bongolan, dangled her off a 17-story high balcony, and then slammed her into patio furniture on the balcony. What the hell? The document goes on to detail that Bongolan and her girlfriend were staying with the singer when an enraged Combs showed up, pounding on the door. This event was the culmination of a series of threats, intimidation. Anyway, so, Fester, when you think of dangling over the balcony, I mean, you think of Suge Knight.
Suge Knight and Vanilla Ice.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and the story is that Suge Knight dangled Vanilla Ice over a very high balcony in Miami.
To sign over music rights or something.
Yeah, wasn't it something like that?
Yeah.
That Vanilla Ice didn't want to sign something to enrich Suge Knight, and Suge Knight said, okay, how about you sign it now? And he grabs him, is dangling him from the ankles over a 20-foot drop, a 20-story drop, rather.
Then Vanilla Ice was like, stop! Collaborate,
listen. Yes.
Collaborate and listen. Wow. So that's the dangle. All right, I have a good deal of celebrity stuff we got to get to coming. What time is it? 8:51? Yeah, I ought to take a break here. Let me tell you what's coming up. I'm just curious, were there any Thanksgiving political fights at your Thanksgiving dinner?
No.
Just out of curiosity, I'm kind of asking the audience.
Oh, okay.
Roxanne's like, no, we're fine. we're all independents at our house.
All right, let's say someone is at your door. Let's say there's a stranger at your door. Do you ignore the knock?
Oh, that's a good question.
If
I
there's
won't
a
answer it,
stranger at the door, do you ignore the knock or the doorbell ring? You got to hear this. This is must hear, and it's coming up next. Oh, I've got a Walmart worker story that you've got to hear. It's the feel-good story of the day here on the MJ Morning Show. All right, you got to hear this. Anyway, I'm looking at, man, I got a lot of stuff to get to. Holy crap. I got a whole show for tomorrow already in the can right here. All right, stand by. We're back. Sister-in-law taken care of. You're telling me that Damien said no dice?
Okay, he did not say no dice, but he did say you're kind of screwed. It's a big repair. It's not a simple fix.
All right, here's the deal. Need some help. 9 o'clock, actually 9:01 at the MJ Morning Show. And, you know what we launched this morning? Quickly here, 7:30, we launched the Santa Sleigh List contest. And we're talking about Santa's sleigh. And Santa's got a heck of a playlist when he's on the sleigh. Got some weird stuff. And every morning at 7:30, we announce the song. We announce the Santa Sleigh List song.
Yeah.
At 7:30, and then you listen all day. And when the song plays, be the seventh caller, win $1,000. Now, listen, it could play like right now. Once I announce the song at 7:30, it could play right away. It could play at 10 o'clock. It could play at noon. It could play at 3, 4 o'clock. It could play at any time. So this morning at 7:30, we announced the first song. And yeah, I don't want to say what the song is because, you got to listen at 7:30. But I can give you a little bit of a hint.
Okay, let's see this hint.
All right, that's the song.
You know what? You should have just given like a visual hint and done that dance on MJTV and say, hey, if you want a hint, look at what I'm doing right now on MJTV. There it is.
If you know the song, that's going to play sometime today. When you hear that song, be the 7th caller, you win $1,000. All right, but make sure you're listening every morning this week, next week. Make sure you're listening at 7:30 to hear what song title it is. Then you listen, and when it plays, just be the right caller, number 7 at 800-990-1047, and you win $1,000 cash. It's the Santa Sleigh List right here on 104.7 FM, Q105. All right, the sister deal. So I was bugging Fester over the weekend. Hey, get a hold of Damien. So Damien is Fester's mechanic friend.
Wonderful guy, yes.
Listen, we go so far back. He was fixing the Bluesmobile.
Yes.
Back in like the late 90s. The MJ. But God, I am so pissed that I let that car rot and gave it up.
Is it still out there or has it been crushed?
No. It was...
Because last I saw it was like in some salvage yard.
It was a salvage yard, and I heard that it was going to get crushed. And then last I heard is a collector from California bought it and had it trucked out to restore it. Yeah, it was a 1974 Dodge Monaco, cop motor, cop shocks, model before catalytic converter, so it ran good on regular gas. I had a full replica of the big Blues Brothers speaker up on top that I made from that. I had that Tampa sheet metal place, on Kennedy Boulevard near UT. They made the horn for me back in like 1995. I should have never given up the Bluesmobile. Anyway, so Damien says I got to find what?
Well, I told him what the issue was, and he said, sounds like a serious transmission issue.
All right, let me share, and I got a, and then we'll get into all the other stuff here, but I've got to help my sister-in-law out. They had trouble with their Acura MDX on the way to Thanksgiving dinner at my house. It was, I guess it wouldn't leave 4th gear, and they're on I-75 or the Suncoast. I don't know. They're up in Chiefland. So they were coming to our house for Thanksgiving dinner. So here's what my sister-in-law said. So the car is abandoned in front of my house. So the cars, they had to go to the airport. They went to the airport and they rented a car.
What an asshole.
To drive back. And their 2016 Acura MDX is parked in front of my house right now. And I said, listen, I'll talk about it on the show. Let me tell you what's wrong. I got to find a shop. I got to find somebody that can take a look at this thing. I don't want them to get hose-bagged. I don't want them to get raked over the coals and screwed up good.
Well, listen, you got to take it to a reputable transmission shop. It's not just any mechanic.
I realize that. Let me mention what's going on. So this is a text from my sister-in-law. Here is a summary of what happened to the car driving down on Thanksgiving. Driving down on the expressway doing about 75 or 80, suddenly lost power as if running out of gas, but had plenty of gas. All the sensor indicator lights came on the dash for ABS light, check engine light, emissions light, blind spot indicator lights, all simultaneously came on. Couldn't shift gears, seemed like it was stuck in 4th or 5th gear, was able to finish drive doing no more than 60 miles an hour, and engine at 4,000 RPM. Several hours later that night after dinner, we started the car. All lights were off and normal. All right, this is a 2016 Acura MDX with, sit down, everybody, 220,000 miles on the clock.
That's a lot of miles.
That's a lot of freaking miles. All right, so can anyone help with this vehicle? It is at my house. We can have it towed wherever, or it seems like I can drive it somewhere.
Yeah, it drives.
Yeah, it seems like I probably can drive it. Have Michelle just, pick me up. But I need a good place to look at the 2016 Acura MDX. Is it a sensor? Because now all the lights are off, and it might drive fine now.
It might be a sensor.
I don't know, but I need a good shop that deals with Honda and Acura, and I just need someone that's not going to rip my sister-in-law off. I just need a good, reputable shop. So if that's you, you can phone up. if you've got a great shop, if you own a shop, if you're a mechanic, you know the inside and outside of the 2016 Acura MDX with 220,000 miles on the ticker, give me a call or email me. So you can call up and Ryan Hoppy, who's filling in for Andrew in the producer booth, he'll write down your shop name and phone number, or you can email me. If you want to call us, 800-990-1047, or listen. If somebody listening right now says, I know exactly what's wrong, I'll put you on the air.
Call in right
so
now.
let me know. If somebody knows exactly what's wrong with his vehicle, I'll take your call and bring it to your shop. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. I'm just trying to help my sister-in-law out, with her 2016 Acura MDX with 218,000 miles on the ticker, on the clock. All right, if anyone knows, 800-990-1047, or if you want to email me, it's easy, mj@mjmorningshow.com. But I told my sister-in-law that I would help out and get the car somewhere to get looked at, get diagnosed, and get fixed. So if you want to call me, 800-990-1047 if you're a shop, or you can email me, mj@mjmorningshow.com. All right, I see Ryan's got calls on hold. Can you bring up the screener, Fester?
Sure. You mean the Acura MDX is a very popular vehicle.
Yeah. Hang on. I think we're getting people that are calling in that had the same problem. Bernice in Bradenton. Yes, Bernice, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, MJ. I have a highly recommended shop. It's called Simon's Transmission.
Listen, I'm not driving to Bradenton from South Tampa.
Yes, you are.
No. Oh, well, listen. If you've got some decent people, he's a master mechanic, and he's going to give a free estimate on a repair.
I know, but Bernice, listen. Bernice, thank you. I can hear the sincerity in your voice, but I don't want to drive from South Tampa to Bradenton.
No, you go over the Skyway Bridge going 30 miles an hour.
With the transmission will fall out right on top of the Skyway.
That sounds great. Just coast downhill all the way.
What?
It can be towed.
I know, but I'd like to keep it within 40 miles of my house. Is that okay?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I get it. But listen, on another note, I want to tell you that I've been in Bradenton since February, and I've been listening to you guys every single day on my way to work, and I'm moving back to West Palm Beach on Friday, and I'm going to miss the heck out of you guys.
Well, just listen on the app. You can listen live on your phone. You don't have to tune into some crappy West Palm Beach morning show. All you have to do is just listen to us on your phone. We're on all the major streaming. We're on iHeart. We're on Odyssey. We're on the TuneIn app. You can listen on the Q105 app. So you can just listen to us on the phone like you're listening normally.
I definitely will. Listen, the what is it called? JVK show in West Palm Beach has nothing on you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
They're lucky they have jobs.
That's what we told our management, too.
All right.
No, it's something else. But listen, I appreciate everything that you guys talk on this show. You've got some great subjects. And listen, Happy New Year for you guys, and hope all is well for your families.
Thank you, Bernice. That's very sweet of you. And just keep listening to us on the app. You go to West Palm every morning. You listen to us live, like you're right here. No difference. Thank you, Bernice. Good luck. Alan in Spring Hill. Alan, MJ Morning Show, Q105. Hi, Alan. Oh, I picked up the wrong line. Alan, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Yes, I had the same issue with my Acura, and I brought it to a transmission shop, and they said, well, it needs to be a rebuild. And then I talked to another transmission shop, and they told me to bring it to the dealer because it needed to have the sensors reset. So I brought it to the dealership. They downloaded a program for it. They uploaded it into the car. They drained the transmission fluid, refilled it, ran it for about 40 miles, and then they drained it again. Now it works perfectly fine.
All right, and this is an Acura MDX?
Mine was an RDX.
Okay.
Same exact issue, though.
Yeah, probably the same. And then how much was the bill?
It came out to $290.
That's not bad at all. All right, thank you. I appreciate the call. I just wrote all that info down. Donald in Plant City. Donald, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I think I might know what's wrong with it. Have you guys checked their battery cables to see if they're loose? Because if they are, it might have messed up the MCU, the brain box of it.
Oh, battery cables loose. Question. That's a good question. I will. You know what? When I go home after the show, I'll check her battery cables.
Yeah, tighten them up with a little wrench.
Hey, good. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate
There you
it. I got to move on here because I don't want to turn this into freaking car talk.
Car talk with Click and Clack. What were the guys' names?
I don't know.
Crank and...
You mean the NPR guys?
Yeah. Click and Clank and Click. I forget.
I think it was Pedo and Phil. Was it pedophile? I Morgan in St. Pete. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
Hi, Morgan. Welcome.
So there is a good shop over in Seminole, Florida. It is called True Auto. The owner is Jim. I've been dealing with him for about 15 years. Good prices, family owned, family operated. You couldn't ask for a better mechanic.
All right. I appreciate it. I just wrote it all down. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
All right. Well, one more call on this, and I got to move on. So I giving my sister-in-law some love here because her car's all busted up, and I really want to get the damn thing out from in front of my house. Bill in Spring Hill. Hi, Bill.
Hey, how you doing? Boomhauer here.
Oh, hey, Boomhauer. How you doing?
Yeah, he should be a mechanic. Sounds like a good possibility. The highest possibility is a ship solenoid. I have a A1 mechanic. He does top-end cars. Imports. He's on Hillsborough Avenue by Gomez and Hillsborough. His name is Guy's Automotive, and that's what he specializes in.
Guy's Automotive. So he can handle transmission issues on a 2016 Acura MDX.
Anything you got.
All right,
You
that's
need to take care of it.
all right, Boomhauer.
He's A1 mechanic.
Boomhauer, I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right.
All right, I got enough there. I'm sure people are emailing me. I heard my phone vibrate like 35 times. So MJ at MJMorningshow.com is my email. Hey, if anyone knows what's wrong with the car, with all the lights coming on and the transmission stuck in fourth or fifth gear on a 2016 Acura MDX with 218,000 miles on the clock, anyone knows what's going on? Now, once the car cooled down and they started it up, none of the lights were on. So
it might be a sensor issue.
Yeah, so probably a sensor. Anyway.
Maybe the flux capacitor is busted.
Yeah, probably right. All right, what time? 9:14 at the MJ Morning Show. Couple of, should we take calls on? I was gonna. You know what? I'm kind of on the fence. Did you have any political arguments at your Thanksgiving dinner? You know what?
No, we didn't.
You know what? Maybe we shouldn't take calls on this. Maybe we should just mention the fact that we hope your Thanksgiving dinner was devoid of political arguments.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's probably
Well,
the best.
you know what? And it's probably a good thing the pardon happened after Thanksgiving, with the news breaking that Hunter Biden was fully pardoned for current, past, and future issues.
Hey.
You can do whatever you want, Hunter.
Listen,
Party on.
Party on, Hunter. Go
Any future bags of white powder found in the White House, don't worry about it. Nothing to do with Hunter. If it was, who cares?
You're all good with coke and hookers for all the years you want in the future.
You can pardon people for the future? That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I believe it's on pre-existing things.
Oh, nothing can come back. Okay.
Yeah, he can't go murder somebody like tomorrow and then have the blanket pardon on that. Yeah.
So
it's got to be a federal crime.
So he pardoned the turkey earlier in the week, and then he pardoned the other turkey yesterday.
Yeah, so Hunter Biden got. Anyway, hopefully your Thanksgiving dinner survived without any political talk upheaval.
That's a good father right there.
I mentioned door knocking, and I thought this was really interesting. This is so interesting. I think I might save this and bring it up again tomorrow, earlier in the show. There is a police officer warning. And it's about if somebody knocks on your door or rings your doorbell and you don't know who it is, you don't feel like interacting, there's a danger in not at least making some contact, even if it's through like the Ring doorbell, a speaker, or just through the door without opening it up. So the warning is simple, that if a stranger knocks on your door, you shouldn't just ignore it because that could just be a casing test to see if someone's home. and then they could try to burgle the place, break in, go around back. So the deal is, if somebody rings your doorbell or knocks on your door, it's not advised that you just ignore it. If, let's say, you caught a little look-see peep and you're like, they're selling something, whatever. I don't know who this is. I'm not answering the door. It sends the message no one's home and the place might be fair game. So police recommend, and I read a whole dissertation on this, that if someone does ring your doorbell or knock on the door, you might not want to ignore it, but it's best to say, maybe if you have a speaker or just through the door, yes, can I help you? Oh, so-and-so, they got some story, they're selling whatever. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm in the shower right now. I can't do it. Just to let people know that you're home. And if you want to say that you've got an AR-15 and a Dirty Harry 357 Magnum, or I'm sorry, 44 Magnum, that's fine. No, don't say it. But listen, let people know that you're home. There's a danger in letting people think the home is empty.
I thought you were taking a totally different angle on it.
Where the hell do you think I was going with this?
About people who don't answer the door because they just don't want to talk to people.
Yeah, that was me.
The other side of it, Rox, is,
The point is, if you take that tact, it could be somebody knocking on the door to see if somebody is home. And if you don't answer and you're home, they might think that it's a fair game house to bust into.
See, that's what I always used to do that as a single person. I hear someone knocking at the door. I was like, if you haven't called me and told me that you're coming to my house, why would I ever open the door?
Yeah.
But now, as a parent, you always have to open the door because there's always kids in the neighborhood.
Listen, you never hear my wife tell the kids to shut up quicker than when the door gets knocked. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Everyone be quiet. Hide.
Then my wife,
shelter in place.
My wife's fake happy. Hello? Hello?
Listen,
what do you want?
Here's what you tell your wife.
You and I had...
Sorry, we can't talk right now. We're cleaning our guns.
Yeah, seriously. Do you know what I had? If you're going to talk about this tomorrow, I'll bring it up again. Do you know what I had Friday? The last Friday I worked, a week and a half ago Friday, I had Jehovah's Witnesses come to the house. And I'm like,
oh, they're sweet.
That's what I said.
It's like the Mormon kids,
I'm like, hey, good on you guys.
I offer them an ice cold Coke when they come to my door.
Sorry, sir.
Can I get you some coffee? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No,
but I mean, I answered the door and they were super friendly.
The Mormon kids are nice,
I haven't had old Jehovah's Witnesses come up to my house in decades. It feels like.
Let me tell you the luck of the Mormon kids. So I was in Ambergris Key.
Yeah.
Off of Belize City. I sound like Peterman from Elaine. I was on Ambergris Key. I was with Ed.
Good old Ed.
Good old Ed was he was the owner of Woods and Water.
Oh yeah, Ed Woods and Water.
Scuba shop out in Brandon.
Oh yeah, in Brandon.
Friends with Ed's for a very long time. I think his son runs the shop now. And I was out in Belize. Ed says, this is like 1999, and Ed says to me, hey, you want to go on a fam trip? And a fam trip was a familiarization trip where, like, resorts or, in this case, the dive industry, they bring people in for you to check it out so then you can try to sell trips to customers. So Ed says, hey, want to go on a fam trip? You got to pay for airfare and that's it. Everything else is comped. I'm like, yep, I'm in. So I flew into Belize City, and then we took a little puddle jumper over to some dirt runway on Ambergris, offshore. Did some scuba diving, nice resort, and I was in downtown Ambergris, and it's we're talking about it's like 2 clicks above Gilligan's Island, right?
Right.
And there was a nice part of the island, and then the other part of the island were like slums. And if you want to see some slums outside of Belize, oh my God, there are some slums in Belize. At least that was 1999. I don't know if it's the same,
I don't know.
But it was unfreaking believable. But so I'm on Ambergris Key or K, and this is crazy. So I'm just walking around, and I don't think I was with Ed. I think Ed was taking a nap or something. I said, yeah, I'm going to take a bike and I'm going to ride on down to downtown, check things out. And I'm walking through these slums and everything, and I see these 2 Mormon kids. And these 2 Mormon, young men, I don't know, like 18, 19, the missionaries.
On their mission, yeah, sure.
They got their black pants on, their white shirts on, they got the little name thing on.
Yeah.
And I end up talking to these guys. They're nice. They're on their mission from Utah, Provo, or wherever they're from. And I just had a great conversation, just nice kids. And after I left the Mormon kids, I went to the casino.
Yeah?
There's a casino with slot machines in ambergris. And I put some money. I scored like $380.
It's amazing.
So right after I talked to the Mormon kids, I hit the slots for just shy of 4 biggies.
Listen,
4 bills.
You see those kids again, you buy them lunch.
Absolutely. 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. I mentioned the Walmart story. I've got the feel-good Walmart story of the day. And we'll get to this the minute we get back. So the moment we get back, I'm going to get into the Walmart story. Fester, you're going to love this story. Our first show in December of 2024. My God, it's going to be Christmas before we know it. It's going to be 2025 before we know it. Just, I don't know where the time has gone. And it's just strange. It just feels like there should be more time between, Thanksgiving's late this year. That's part of the issue. It feels
less
like,
weekends.
So less weekends to deal with. Because, listen, our last show is going to be, mid-December for the year, as we typically take the last 2 weeks of the year off. And I'm planning to, take some family time. See if we'll be back in 2025.
Let's not hold our breath.
Yeah. All right. 9:32 at the MJ. What line 5? Hold on. Ryan wants me to take a call here. I don't know what it is, but Ryan says, trust me, take the call. Ryan Hoppy filling in for Andrew this week. He's on vacation. Hoppy doing a great job today, by the way. Really didn't have to think twice.
No,
just business as usual. Good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Lauren in Lutz. I've called before, but when you were discussing the Mormons coming to the door, I just had a funny Mormon story, so I thought I would share it with you guys.
Listen, when I think of the Mormons, I think of just gut-splitting humor.
Comedy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well,
Mormons are typically comedy gold, but don't mention Book of Mormon. Though. That'll piss them off.
No.
All right.
No, so when I was a teenager, I was having one of those, Roxanne probably knows what I'm talking about, one of those girl pity parties where you all get together because your boyfriend broke up with you and, he's like terrible and how you're going to find someone better and you're all eating ice cream,
Playing sad songs.
Yeah, so I said, but if I could just ask God for a tall boy that's, blonde with blue eyes.
6'5", blue eyes.
Oh, exactly. The song
Job
my
in-
tween daughter
job in
sings,
finance.
right?
Looking for a man in finance.
Yeah.
Right? So I was saying this to my friends, and they're all like, oh, yeah, okay.
And how old were you at this pity party?
Oh, like 14 or 15,
my.
and my like 2-month boyfriend and I had broken up. It's very tragic.
Oh, yeah. End of the world.
No, it feels like
Right.
it. It does. It feels like it.
14 or 15 is a
Yes.
perfect age for
Yes,
Mormons.
yes, and you're all eating ice cream, and like he's such a terrible person for
Yeah.
breaking up with you. And
You're gonna show him.
So and so I was saying to my friends, but I'm like, but if he could have blue eyes and be like 6 foot and like blonde hair, that would also be great. And I'm a Christian, so I said, if he followed. I'm sure I said something about if I wanted him to be like a good person, and all that. So the doorbell rings, and you know what I'm going to say.
What happened?
A Mormon boy that was exactly like I described to my girlfriends.
Wow.
So
he was delivered to you.
Shows up at my house, tall, blonde, blue eyes, about the height that I was discussing, and
You sound very superficial.
and Chris. Oh no, I'm not. I'm a social worker.
All right.
But a Christian.
Right.
And he asked me on a date instead of trying to convert me to become a Mormon. He asked me out, and we ended up dating for quite a while.
Oh, my God. Jebediah is going to be ticked off. He went outside the bounds.
Hold on a second.
I know.
You got a flag on the play.
So
yeah. So, when you pray, you never know. Your prayer might literally be answered.
So hold on now. Hold on.
How old was this
Yeah,
Mormon
let's-
guy?
Let's get back to that part.
He was my age.
Hold on. He was He was 14 years old?
Doing his mission?
No. We were both about, I don't know, I was about to turn 16 or something, in the 15.
Wait, but you were 14 just 2 minutes ago.
Earlier in the call, you said you were 14.
14 or 15, that young
right.
dramatic age.
Okay, so-
where everything's ending if you break up with someone.
But where was the Mormon kid from? Was he from Utah doing his mission locally?
No, he was a local Hoosier boy, Indiana.
Oh, you were in Indiana when this happened.
The Indiana Mormons.
Yes, and
Gotcha.
he was from a do they call it a sect, a group from? From Indiana too. Yeah.
I mean, when you said you were 14,
it was just funny because it was exactly my girlfriends all their mouths dropped open when he rang the doorbell and then asked me on a date. It was just really funny. So,
All right, so how long did you date the Mormon dude?
Oh, I think we went out for a couple months. I mean, he was really a gentleman, of course, and very kind. All the things I asked for.
Did he milk your cows? Oh no, I'm thinking of the Amish. Hang on a minute.
I'm used to the Amish community.
Yeah, because a lot of Amish up in Indiana.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So yeah, but I mean, I met my husband on a cruise that summer, so that was the end of it for the Mormon boy and I.
Oh, son of a...
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you met your husband at 16?
Yeah, on a cruise.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
the crazy love story continues, but I don't know if you have time for it.
Are
But,
you
yeah,
22 now?
I met him when I was 16.
How old are you now?
45.
Oh wow, because you sound like you're
And we're
25.
Yeah, you sound young.
And
Lauren.
we're still married. Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
told her
great.
to meet me at the top of the Sears Tower on Valentine's Day 5 years later, and he did. He flew there from USF, and we got married.
Wow, that's a hell of a story. Thank you.
Yeah. So have a good day. True love does exist.
All right,
You know?
no, that's
Love that.
great
That's
stuff.
a happy-
Thank you for phoning in.
Ending.
So
Have a good day, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Too.
I'm not sure how I feel about that call.
What's wrong with the call?
She's 14 and some Mormons knocking on the
She
door.
got older during the course of the phone call.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I heard her bring up young, but this is young.
All right,
Young for even for them.
9:37 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, the Walmart story. Man, I got so much. I didn't. Speaking of cruises, I didn't get to the sex cruise story. I'll have to push that off till tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait that long. Come on.
Listen, I don't have time left here. I got the sex cruise. We got to talk. We got a lot of stuff. All right, first the Walmart story, and I told Fester that this is the. Can you turn your mic off when you cough?
I can't.
Dude,
He can't. He literally can't.
The mic button literally is too far away.
Get up and turn your mic off. You always cough into the microphone.
Let me just get it out of the way.
Drive me crazy. All right, stop.
All right, I'm good for at least 45 seconds.
All right, so this is the Walmart employee feel-good story of the day. A Walmart employee was called into work on their day off,
Okay.
but left a millionaire.
Oh, that's incredible.
Bought a lottery ticket from a California lottery machine inside the Walmart where she worked. Called in to work, typically day off, got called in, and while at work, bought a lottery ticket out of the machine in the front of the store and nailed it for a massive prize. Spent $10 on the ticket and won a $1 million top prize.
That's amazing.
With that scratcher with the California lottery. Rebecca Gonzalez works at a Los Angeles County Walmart, got a last-minute call to come in. She was not looking forward to it. It was Labor Day. They only needed me for 3 hours. I wanted, obviously, to be home with my family because we planned to barbecue. But she was called in. She decided to buy single, double, triple scratchers from the California lottery vending machine. When she was headed out for the night, she walked by the machine, remembered spending $10 on the ticket, won the $1 million prize.
Good for her.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Walmart gets a $5,000 bonus. Like Walmart really needs it. I hope they share that with like the local team instead of it going to like the Bentonville, Arkansas head office.
Yeah. So it doesn't go anywhere near an employee.
That was a great story. Called in and buy a scratcher and you win $1 million on a $10 million ticket. That's
so
fantastic.
Do you quit your job at Walmart? I mean, you walk away with $600,000, right?
Well,
or $500,000 maybe.
I don't know. California might not be. I believe California doesn't. California taxes you on everything, and I think California. I don't think they tax you on lottery. Believe it or not.
So if she took the payout, she probably got
federal taxes. Probably no state taxes in California, if my memory serves me correctly. But
despite her fortune, she plans to continue working at Walmart.
Oh, look at that. Hope she doesn't get locked in the oven in the bakery like that Walmart worker in Canada. That's a terrible story.
But it wasn't a worker, was it? Wasn't it someone?
No, it was a worker.
It was a bakery clerk.
And the girl's mother worked at the same damn store and found her in the oven. It's a terrible story. It's like a Hansel and Gretel horror story gone bad with a Walmart twist.
Very awful.
Yes, terrible. I mentioned some Hollywood stuff that we had. Ellen DeGeneres is denying rumors that her house flooded. So Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi, remember that they fled the United States?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where did they move?
After the election, they moved to the UK. They moved to the English countryside. And there was a report over the weekend that their new house was flooded by flooding.
Yeah, she only put out a one line.
But then the statement is that that's not true. So here's the original story. Daily Mail. Ellen DeGeneres' new life in the quaint English countryside has gone dramatically wrong after her dream home was flooded, swamped by an astonishing flood just days after she moved in. Ellen, 66, and her wife, Portia de Rossi, 51, had been left at the mercy of raging floods which have engulfed their new multi-million-pound mansion. Dramatic images show the couple's 43-acre property in Cotswolds. Where do you live? In Cotswolds? Yes. I'm trying to come up with some Harry Potter lingo, but I don't
know much.
I don't know much.
Ron Weasley.
So
that was the real estate agent.
In a very
Ron Weasley.
Very loving Instagram post to her wife.
Yeah.
At the very end, she goes, P.S. For those of you concerned, our UK farmhouse did not flood.
Yeah, so she's denying that the home flooded.
Where there's water, there's floods. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's waters in your house, there's floods.
There's floods, yep.
All right, sex cruise I got to do tomorrow. I don't have time for that.
That is a big old tease right there, if I ever heard of one.
Big old sex cruise tease coming up tomorrow. I mentioned Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, what don't you like about him?
I guess people were busting on him with his appearance at the Macy's parade on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
That was a wet mess. I turned it on for like 15 minutes. All the cameras had like water blotches on it and all that stuff. Apparently his behavior was kind of bizarre at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Story number one is that he was ruthlessly mocked for wearing sunglasses during a gloomy, gray, rainy day, and he's got sunglasses on.
No need for sunglasses, Jimbo.
If anything, wear some Speedo swim goggles or something, not like dark Ray-Bans. From page 6, a 50-year-old appeared at the 2024 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade Thursday morning wearing sunglasses despite the downpours and overcast skies.
You know, I'm probably unique in this way, but I'm not mad at people for doing that. Like sometimes you have light sensitive eyes, and sometimes like even an overcast day
What are you, his publicist?
Yeah.
What are you, his agent?
All right, that's what Jimmy told me to say. So
Yeah.
I told him to say it actually.
So he was getting just all kinds of crap on social media.
Roxanne's doing damage control for Jimmy Fallon.
It's raining at the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Why is Jimmy Fallon wearing sunglasses? Someone snarks. Yeah, these are all the X comments. Sunglasses in the rain is the most Jimmy Fallon that Jimmy Fallon can Fallon, one person wrote.
What comedians?
Yeah, give the guy a break. Big deal.
Yeah.
But he was also accused of lip syncing a rendition of Hey Rudy that he performs with the Roots, I guess, on his TV show.
Did he do it in the parade? Because everything on the parade is lip synced. Nobody sings live in that parade.
Everything.
Yes.
Jennifer Hudson put the mic down and she's still singing.
Yeah. I mean,
I noticed that.
Everything is lip synced. I mean, he seems like really trivial bitches and complaints about Jimmy.
Yeah,
Listen,
they're just not
I'm not a huge Jimmy Fallon fan. You know, I hate to. My mother once said, "If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say." Actually, my mother never said that.
My mother said, "If you don't have anything nice to say, go into radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a morning show."
Morning radio.
I just find Jimmy Fallon to be. I find it would be so unnatural. I find it would be forced and stilted, and I don't find him to be like.
I like him.
I don't find him to be approachable. I don't find a connection with him at all. I just find that he's always putting on an act. Does that make any sense?
Oh my God, I feel the same way about you.
I just find him to be. Will you shut up, Fester?
So unapproachable.
Shut up. I'm the most. Dude, listen. I was approached by a husband and wife outside of the Broward Medical Center on Saturday.
Okay.
Tampa listeners picking up a relative at the hospital. So
aren't you that guy in the radio?
No, he said, "Hey, MJ." Seriously, I'm at the Broward Medical Center on Saturday. I flew in with Julian.
You're known statewide. Holy cow.
Well, they're from here. They're from Brandon. But they were picking up a relative at the hospital.
It's a multi-county famous person we're talking to here.
Julian, my son, was supposed to leave Tampa on Sunday morning, but since my dad took that interesting bad turn, we flew over Saturday morning. So Julian canceled his Sunday flight back to LaGuardia, and he rebooked a Saturday afternoon flight from Fort Lauderdale to LaGuardia. And seriously, so my mom couldn't find the parking spot in the parking garage. She just pulls her car right in front of the hospital, like the front loop area.
Yeah. And leaves it.
Just parks the car, just leaves it there.
Yeah.
And then like 3 hours later, she's like, "Yes, I just parked the car in front of the hospital." I'm like, "What?" They're all tow zone signs and everything.
Did they move it?
No, the car was still sitting there.
That's great.
So my brother and I go downstairs to go move my mom's car because my brother has my brother's on staff there. So he's got a doctor badge and he's got the special card to get into the physician's parking area. So we go downstairs to move my car, or my mom's car, into the physician's parking lot. And we're walking to the car, and a guy's pulling up to pick up a discharged relative, I found out. And he's like, "Hey, MJ, what are you doing here?" And I met Carl and his wife from Brandon, and they were at Broward medical center in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, and he was just down in Fort Lauderdale, just like I was.
How about that?
With a sick relative. And same deal. So I met Carl. Carl even sent me a message on Instagram later in the day yesterday.
You guys are becoming chums pretty quickly.
Yeah, speaking of IG, I didn't get a chance to mention some of the videos I shot. So I'll make a quick mention, and I'll get into them in more depth tomorrow. But we had a pizza nightmare at my house. The last video shot on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio is a pizza nightmare in my house. If you want to get a jump on this, go to my Instagram and look at the last video posted, and you'll see the red font says Nightmare on Pizza Street. All right, so a couple of things. Snap power line. Well, it was actually it's actually not power. It was a phone line, it turns out to be. Anyway, a couple of good things on my Instagram if you want to check those out. Certified MJ Radio. That is Certified MJ Radio. And with that, is there anything else that we have left uncovered?
I think we've covered everything except for the sex cruise.
No, I have a lot of stuff I left on the table. I just can't
we'll
get.
Do that tomorrow.
It's 9:48, and I got to shut the damn thing down. Instead of doing it live, I got to shut it down. And we'll call it a day at 9:48. Hey, don't forget, listen up for the Santa Sleigh List song. We announced what it was at 7:30. It's going to play sometime today. When it plays, just be the seventh caller, win $1,000. Make sure you listen every morning at 7:30 to find out what Santa Sleigh List song, and that's Sleigh, S-L-E-I-G-H, not S-L-A-Y, okay? Let's be very clear about that. All right, so the Santa song, we'll announce it every morning at 7:30. I did this morning. It'll play sometime today, and caller 7 wins $1,000. And then we'll do it all over again tomorrow, all week long, all next week. Blowing out $1,000 here, there, everywhere on the MJ Morning Show and 104.7 FM Q105. Folks, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show. And until then, do me a favor. Let's be careful out there.